if it doesn't work here. Does actual fire work here?
No, fire doesn't work at all.
Fire doesn't work at all.
No,
Okay.
given that the about 90% of the city is made of wood, no fire works here.
Warming rock thing I can I buy a heat thing?
Heat rocks exist, but they obviously require you to find someone who's willing to sell magic items to you, which is expensive, and you'd have to therefore
cook here.
They don't.
pump spell slots in. They don't.
Oh, what?
By all rights, the city should not
This place.
There is a surprising amount of things out there you can eat that don't require any cooking. I had to do a lot of research to get this place up and running, and it's a surprising amount of things you can eat.
Like insects.
Unfortunately not. Well, I mean, you might be able to
There are
do them raw, but yeah.
There are some.
This isn't the Lion King.
Two things about that. Do not eat raw bugs is one, and do not eat cooked bugs is the other.
Nothing wrong with some cooked bugs. Never tried them, but never want to try them one day at least, just so I can say that I have.
I'd be alright if like they removed the goddamn like shells and stuff, and it was just like the protein. I'm like I'd be willing.
Well, just like have it stuck on a cocktail stick or something. Just scoop it out of a bowl.
No, like make bug nuggets. Buggets.
Bug nuggets.
Buggets.
I like that. Okay.
I'll have me some chicken buggets. Oh man. Oh, I gotta make a Mackie D's in D&D. Anyway, hello and welcome to Crabby D&D. I am with Kat.
Hi.
Damian.
Hello.
Kay.
I'm hungry.
Romulus.
Buggets.
And Vinny.
Hello.
We are missing Infernal, and unfortunately we will be missing Infernal for quite some time. He will not be able to rejoin us until next year, most likely. He may pop in here and there for like 1 or 2 sessions, but it's otherwise unlikely. So, for the time being, just a general note that he will be missing for the majority of this. So, something to note. But yes.
Bloody educating himself, bastard.
He's already educated. I think it's mainly just work and finishing off his stuff for uni, like last little bit.
Just North Macedonia being North Macedonia.
Yeah. Alright. Enough real world racism. Let's get to fantasy racism. Welcome back. Good to see everyone is in one piece. Unfortunately, one of our players will be missing for some time. Infernal will obviously be missing, and when he comes back next year for his revival, I have located my Necronomicon. But last time, our party of adventurers, Kat, Damian, Kay, Lloyd, Romulus, and Vinny, explored Zaker's Crossing, acquiring rooms, harassing locals for information, and sorting out a few loose ends before heading back to the Cartographer's Guild. They otherwise had met with one of these workers, or at least Kat and Romulus did, and sorted out what they were going to be doing on the morrow, including a little bit of smuggling for this young Centaur girl. Now, we return as Kat and Romulus rejoin the rest of the party in the dark alleys, not too far from the hang cages. The doorway opens, letting light through into the otherwise dim but not completely dark alleys that surround the building itself. Very little light is around here, bar a few crystal street lights that hang off of the main stone support building that is this cartographer's node. Kat and Romulus wander back through the doorway, rejoining the rest of you as the doorway is closed behind you for the next leg of your adventure.
I think you mean the next walking stick of the adventure.
Maybe. I mean, I've put...
Well, you got to find where a certain steed or 2 steeds are stored first, as does Damian. Kind of.
This is fair. I have also called this...
We have agreed about how that works. It's fine.
I have also called this session Breaking Legs, so you know.
Splendid.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad I'm not going back immediately. So, everything okay in there?
Mm-hmm. We've got to come back tomorrow morning to collect the spell, because he's going to put in a bid for a spell for us to help us complete our quest. But...
Oh, okay. Cool.
What's the spell?
It's like a small dimension which holds stuff. Which means,
can put
Any
food in
kinds
there?
of stuff, or is it?
well, it's not insanely huge stuff, but you can put like bits in, like crystal or little things that you don't want people finding.
Wait, is this something that's smaller on the inside than it looks on the outside, or larger on the inside than it looks on the outside?
What?
No, it's smaller on the outside than it is on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Does
Yes.
it kind of come in a little blue style box with a little peak on top?
What? No,
No.
no, no. It comes in wherever I cast the spell. Box? Well, I guess, I mean, if I've got a little blue box.
Yeah, baby.
Vinny's already had enough.
Alright then.
Any excuse for Damian to break the fourth wall.
This feels way too real for me at the moment, considering where I am.
So, I guess we try and make our way back to that window with the cage and the Pioneers Guild for the moment. Is there anything that we want to do? I mean, Vinny, didn't you mention something about scouting out where your job was?
Vinny's just gonna be right back.
Well, that's unfortunate. We will leave hanging on that.
Yes, I did mention that. Damian, didn't you want to have a look at your place first as well?
Yes, and Romulus, didn't you want to look for some apples?
I would indeed like to locate some apples. Did I do
Huh?
a good Simon there? Was that a decent?
Yeah,
That was
I
decent.
will-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't quite do the voice, but I can get the vibe.
And
Pretty
Kay,
good.
you just wanted to tag along?
Oh God,
What?
are you listening?
Just generally calling into the ether because I got no idea where Kay is. Cause he's...
Kay
No one
is
ever knows
completely
where Kay is.
distracted. Kay is just distracted.
I guess we make our way back to the fifth window, although does anybody remember which way we came in? I mean,
That
we were
way.
led here. That way. Oh. Kay, you immediately remember. Do you want to guide us? We'll follow you.
G-K-I-C.
That way. That's the way I see.
Good. Let's follow that way.
Okay. So, okay, roll me a survival check. With advantage because this was a very recent get here.
Oh, the double one.
No.
Ooh, it's close.
No, he's all good. Easy enough. You otherwise travel back and working backwards from where you came. You otherwise arrive at the edge of the cloud window once again, looking out across the openness that is this area.
Do we see any vendors selling food in this particular window?
Maybe a perception check.
I don't think it's going to be very good.
Total?
That is perception. That's an 8.
8. Okay. Looking out across this area, you don't necessarily see what looks to be like big food vendors by any means, but there are kind of a few around the place that are selling fresh fruit. Things like berries. You see a few bits of veg here and there. Quite a lot of stuff that you could find on fruit trees, for example. So apples, oranges, pears, a lot of things like that, and then kind of berries as well.
Romulus. Would this be a good place for you to buy your apples?
Yes.
Points
it does
generally.
appear so.
You can see
I
some
will
apples, quite easy to get. Okay.
Right. So I will go up to this place. Is it just fruit they do here, or are there other?
By the looks of it, it's mostly fruit and berries. There is a few bits of veg here, but for the most part, it's kind of just this kind of half circle of tables and carts with a kind of a simple fabric tent or gazebo over the top of it, where this individual is currently there selling various bits and pieces, taking a few copper and silver from people just
Are there any
selling bits.
lemons or limes?
Make me an investigation check.
I actually need to join the party because my internet has been a bit. So
That's
we'll
fine.
see how that goes.
I will roll for you. Completely average, maybe half under. That was a 10.
Perfect.
Plus,
I assume no plus. Well, let me. I will actually.
you
check.
have +1
Investigation.
unless you're proficient, in which case it'll be +3, so
I
11
do
or
have a
13.
+1 to my investigation.
Okay. Looking over the stock that they have here, they have what looks to be a wide variety of different berries. What looks to be all kinds of fruit. You've got oranges, you've got apples, pears, you've got a few lemons in here as well. You've got figs. You've got also up to one section. You've got a large variety of squashes as well. There's a lot of general stuff here, along with a few grapes as well.
I'm interested in locating a large amount of apples and a reasonable amount of lemons.
You could get that here. Yeah.
Then I shall locate many apples.
How many apples are we talking?
How many pounds can I carry?
That would be up to you.
100 pounds of apples.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Chris frantically doing sums.
I'm just trying to figure out how many apples are there in a pound, but every site I go to asks me to get rid of my ad blocker. No is the answer. The internet's full of ads these days that you just can't stop, so there's no reason for me to not have it up.
An apple weighs between 150 to 250 grams, in which case a pound being 454 grams means that you can get between 2 and 3 apples per pound.
Okay, so you'd be able to get between 3 and 4 because we don't necessarily because we're living in a world which hasn't necessarily selectively bred apples to the extent we have.
I would be looking for green apples, as they are slightly tartar and crisper.
So more like Granny Smiths in that way, then.
Maybe not quite a Granny Smith, maybe a Brayburn.
Brayburn, okay, fair enough. So something that would still be more of an edible apple.
Brayburn is like the area we're looking at. It's just nothing like not a cooking apple, but by no means a sweet, like a super sweet red golden delicious or red delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Also, can I just say, golden delicious and red delicious are shite.
I don't know. I like Granny Smith and Brayburn only. So.
Yeah, but Granny Smith and Brayburn, nice, crisp, a little bit tart, very good.
Okay. So we're looking at what? A pound of apples, you said?
I'd probably lean to about 200 apples all in all. So that's
we're talking between 100 to 66 pounds.
So hold on. So
maybe 50 pounds at a minimum.
You wanted 200 apples, right?
Well, whatever roughly 100 pounds equals.
Okay. So you want 100 pounds of apples.
Yeah.
So that would be 350 apples then.
That's a lot more apples than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so potentially, yes. How much would that cost? Because that is a big factor here of how much will this cost.
Okay.
Do they have that amount of apples?
Looking around, they do not have. They do not have that amount of apples. That is an obscene amount of apples.
How many?
With what they have here, they have maybe 2 crates worth of apples for what you're particularly looking for, which will probably get you about 25 to 30 pounds of apples.
That'll have to do.
So with it being 25 to 30 pounds, that will cost you 15 gold.
15 gold. Excellent. I am more than happy to do so.
Okay. And you wanted lemons as well?
I also want some lemons. This is so we got 30 pounds. Probably only gonna want about like 5 pounds max of lemons. Make it 3 pounds of lemons.
3 pounds max of lemons. Okay, that'll be 1 gold, 5 silver.
Cool.
Oh, I know. My apologies. Sorry. No, I'm looking at this table wrong. It's 1 gold, 5 silver for the 10 gold, 5 silver for the apples. You got how many? Sorry, 30 pounds worth.
30 pounds.
So. No, never mind, because it's 5 copper per pound. So yeah,
oh, God.
one gold for 1 gold, 5 silver for the
apples.
30 pounds of apples. So 1 gold, 5 silver. And
Oh, that is
then...
so much cheaper than I thought. Oh god.
No, I misread it. I was looking at the next one down, which is 5 silver, but it's 5 copper pieces for 1 pound of this. So, yeah, it's when you start getting to spices and herbs is when it starts ramping up quite quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in this case, the lemons are 1 silver, 5 copper for the £3 worth because they're produce. They come on the more expensive. They come on the more expensive side of things compared to, say, for example, wheat and rye. But you know, it's 1 copper versus 5 copper. So in this instance, yeah, it's not a huge amount.
And I hope you're happy because you've just broken the apple stock market.
Not necessarily. You've made this person's day because you've sold all their apples. They've sold all their apples and they've made a fair sum off of it. So, yeah. Okay. So you've spent that. So that would have cost you 1 gold, 6 silver, and 5 copper to purchase all that.
Yep. It's actually really weird to me just how cheap that is. Like, because we keep buying expensive shit because we're adventurers who are dumb with money.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, you want to buy trade goods? Like, you want to play D&D, which is just trade simulator? Yeah, they've got charts for that.
Okay, now...
Damian would also like to purchase £5 of apples.
Well, Romulus
you
has just
can't
bought them
afford
out.
them all.
Well, might be going to war with Romulus.
I'll say if you want to
Well,
buy
maybe
1 or
Damian.
2. I'll say if you want to buy 1 or 2 spare apples for the sake of it, I'll say that'll
Oh
run
yeah,
you.
because I only bought the Brayburns and Granny Smiths. There's plenty of red apples around, I guess.
Yeah, so I'd say if you want to buy maybe, I don't know. You said how many?
Yeah,
£5
sweets
of
of apples I can do. Sweets of
Yeah.
apples I can do.
Yeah, so what? £5? Did you say £5 of apples? Yeah.
So that would be
2 silver,
2
5
silver
copper.
and
5 copper.
5 copper.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So selling off large quantities of apples then. They're wrapped into simple burlap sacks for you to kind of carry away, except for Romulus, who now has to carry 2 crates. You don't have enough room in your backpack to carry these, so you are
That's fine,
having
I
to
just
carry them under your arm for now.
It's fine, I just carry them in one arm.
Yeah.
It's not good for you just how buff I am sometimes, is it?
Yeah, it's just like, well, you can carry 2 crates stacked on top of one another and then a sack of lemons on top, so you're just carrying it with one arm around the city.
This is basically just like that barrel.
It's just
Oh,
the
I
moment
will-
yeah, it is.
I will ask this person, do you happen to know where I could locate some cinnamon and more cinnamon and sugar?
If you're after spices, you're going to want to head to the 3rd sky window. Or cloud window,
Oh.
sorry.
That's where we began.
There's more spices. There's more spices along around there. Depends on what you're after. We don't do a lot of spices around here, but we do some.
Cinnamon. Potentially some nutmeg.
Cinnamon we definitely do. Nutmeg I'm not too sure on.
Very well.
But that one. But if you were looking for that, that would definitely be at the 3rd cloud window.
Thank you. And would sugar and things like that also be there?
Sugar. Yes, sugar would definitely be there.
Thank you.
Whoa.
Final question.
Sorry, I'm having to
Is
disconnect.
there any...
No,
know
that's
of
a
any-
public error.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, that's odd. That hasn't happened in a very long time.
That hasn't happened in a while.
Hold on.
That's alright.
Okay, we're going to be playing in the intro screen for the time being because we have a Steam issue. Give it a mo.
There we go. That looks more like it.
I crashed my game.
Okay, I'm just reloading it, making sure everything's okay because obviously I imported new things in, so I've got to make sure they're actually there. Excellent. Load that up. Sort
So the
that
3rd
out.
window was
Okay.
where our
Okay.
Firefly stacks is, if memory serves.
Give me a mo. I'd have to check that against my other document.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the case because I think we had to go 2 windows over to get to the winch place.
Yes, it is. It is indeed located in the 3rd cloud window.
Because it's right in the middle of the city.
Yeah, not right in the middle. It's very close to.
kinda.
The 4th and 5th are right in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Firefly stacks is close to though.
But yes, I am more than happy to go back there simply to buy my sugar and cinnamon. which I'm going to assume is going to be so fucking expensive.
Oh, that's going to be more expensive per pound, yeah. But then again, per
Yeah.
pound, that'll last you a
That's a
while.
lot of
Yeah,
herbs.
Yeah.
30 pounds of sugar and cinnamon.
This is where I asked the DM, do
Oh,
I
God.
have a location for my target so that we can do this in a logical order rather than going back and forth a ton and wasting time?
Yes, your target in particular is at the other end of the city. So you're looking at like the 7th or 8th cloud window, originating from there in the dark alleys themselves. Vinny's target, on the other hand, is from the 4th cloud window, working upwards, going all the way to the top to one of the penthouse noble houses on the ninth layer up.
Okay, so
The auction house, on the other hand, is that would be near the 6th cloud window, so a little bit further down, but not necessarily too far.
Mhm.
Just need to load this up so I got everything ready for that. Cool. But yes.
Who are we missing? Sudz and Harlan for the moment.
Yeah.
So, hold up, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm loading up.
so you need to go to the 3rd window now, which is where we began. So we obviously want to be there before the stall shut down, but we still need to be there anyway. Okay. What was the auction house for?
The auction house was just the location
Yeah.
for the item, details of it.
Oh, the
Yes, it's
Yeah.
an
Oh,
item.
to do
that
with you,
can
the other target.
acquire, Yeah,
okay, gotcha.
that's where it would be sold, or it would be
Okay,
sold
I understand. Yeah.
at the individual's house.
But yes, the question I was wanting to ask that dude before everything went to shit: is there anywhere I can buy just like a fucking miniature stove, or is there anywhere I can cook something in this city? Anywhere.
Nowhere you can cook food. If you're looking for cooked food, you'll have to head down to the Ivy Hills below.
So there's nowhere I can actually cook myself.
Not up here, no. And if you want to,
Alright.
and if you're looking to
This is
borrow one of the cooking
cursed.
stations below, you're gonna have to pay quite a penny for it if you want to get access to the cooking. Otherwise, you'll have to head a little bit out of town to get access to it. But your food won't stay hot for long. If you come back in here, it will start to cool.
Wait, sorry, give me a second here. Is that just a timing thing, or are you referring to the fact
That's just
that
timing.
Lloyd's
It's gonna. I mean,
magic will-
it'll take you
Okay.
15-20 minutes to walk out of town. Let alone if you want to get off the bridge, it'll take you about 2 hours.
All right, because I thought that you were going to say that this place's magic literally cools hot food.
No, there are convenience crystals that create heat to allow you to stay warm, but it's not enough to nearly cook food.
So, are you saying
If
that
you were to
if
put
I
if you were to
bought-
put like an exact heat amount on it, let's say in a numerical fashion, with let's say
If you wanted to cook an egg
degree.
on that on a convenience crystal in a pot or anything like that, it would take you. I can't remember what they used to tell us how long it would take, but I believe it was 3 days to cook it. By that point, it's gone off. So,
because it's walked off?
because it's gone off, it's just decayed.
All right, it's fine.
What
I
you
will
have to
fix
bear
this
in mind
place.
here, Romulus, is some people live their entire lives in this city. A choice.
God. Oh,
Yeah, it's the peak of trade.
Romulus
Like,
starts openly weeping.
people like you come through and just buy up all my stock because you're intrigued or you want apples. I don't know. It's good for money.
Ask you, have you ever had cake?
Yeah.
Given that it can't be made here.
Yeah, it's made in the bakeries down in the Ivy Hills, and then it's shipped up in containers.
And steak?
Steak, less so. If you want to get that, you'll have to head down to the Ivy Hills.
Pasties?
Pasties we do. Cold, but yeah. Well, pastries,
Tea?
anyway.
The idea that you can't have
Hot beverages, no. You want that, you'll have to head down below.
So how do you keep yourselves warm when it's in winter?
Convenience crystals. Like I said, they produce heat enough to keep you warm, but not enough to, cook anything.
Feels like someone in the convenience crystal market is involved in the planning of this city. It's like, oh, sorry, no fire, but don't worry, we've got these convenience crystals. They're very convenient.
I mean, convenience crystals are just handed out. It's not like we pay for them.
That's how they get you. You can't compete with free, and then when you don't have another option, they start bringing the prices. You know what's worse? Subscriptions. Oh.
Once it gets to convenience loot boxes, we riot.
Yeah, at that
I
point,
saw that.
the situation is untenable.
So does that mean I'm the cool one since I started rioting first?
You're the trendsetter, Kay. Doesn't necessarily make you the cool one. I'm sorry.
This is fine because I
Dang.
did plan for this, but it does suck a little bit.
I mean, I'm sure we can cook when we go down. I mean, we're going out tomorrow, so.
Oh yes,
Maybe
it's
if we
just I
just-
wanted to make sure that there was hot food to give to the needy, or anyone who wanted it. I don't really care.
But it'll
If
probably
someone's
cool
really rich
down
and they're
if you
walking
go
by
up
in
that
slums and they
cage.
want it, I'm not going to say no.
It's fine, we could just help poor people with apples.
Yes.
Are they horse-like as well?
I don't know. Damian does it very well.
Essentially, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be, at my own expense, chopping all of these apples, giving them a light dusting of sugar and cinnamon, and handing those out to whoever wants them. The lemons are for lemon juice to coat them, because that will increase the slight tartness to go well with the sweetness, and the acid will also stop them from going off as quickly.
And will you be doing this today?
I'll be doing this when we're like, I'll be getting this set up and doing this as we're doing the racketeering gig for Damian.
Okay. So
Apples last a couple days. It's fine.
no, I get that. I just mean like, what do you mean by the racketeering gig? Like he's scouting it out or going in and doing
no,
it?
when
No,
he's
when we're
when he's actually
breaking
doing
stuff in the shop.
So, do you intend to do that today, or do you intend to like?
Well, no, we're
scout
going
it
to
out?
scout. If it's like mid-afternoon, it's probably like 2:30 at this point. Then
Yeah, it's probably about 2:30 given the time you've spent
then
going.
we're going to
to and from.
scout out in the remaining hours the targets that Vinny and I have got. And then I guess we're returning to the third window so you can get your spices hopefully before those stalls have closed down. Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully. I mean, look, worst case scenario, I can just go off. I don't, as much as they may hate my kind here, I don't think anyone's going to mess with Romulus of all people.
Those are ominous noises. I'm just ignoring those.
It's the sound of me realizing I should probably cover some stuff up for the maps that you may potentially be going to.
Fair.
So yeah.
Stream gets to see them ahead of time though. That's fine. No peeking Sudz.
Oh.
Just Sudz.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not watching the stream. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Oh wait, no, that one's not over. Okay. I was gonna go pull up Jamie's as well, but he's not streaming. I forgot.
No,
that
he's not.
No, he's not because he's
I-
not at home.
I forgot.
Is there any other questions we wish to ask this very kind and generous stall holder?
I don't know where we are. I
We
had to
are
walk
in-
away.
We're currently in the fifth window. We're talking to a greengrocer seller.
Oh,
That's the one where the cages go down to the town
And-
below in the middle.
And
bottom
you
of
are
the
holding
gorge.
up my customers, so if you could kind of pick up the pace.
Oh,
You
yes,
kind
my
of look
apologies.
behind you, and there's like a queue of 3 or 4 people who are just waiting for you to get out of the way so they can go and buy pears or something.
Deepest apologies. I didn't realize we were still in the way. I thought we had stepped to the side. That is, I'm sorry. My apologies. Here, have
We
a
will cha-cha slide to the right.
have a gold piece in recompense.
Okay, that has paid for like over half of what you bought, but alright. Takes it and pockets it. Thank you kindly. And kind of waves the next person over who they begin to sell to.
Right, so in that case, you know where your targets are, Vinny?
I've got the locations for them. Yeah. Bit
Is
of a
there one
walk,
on?
but-
Sorry.
No. I was done.
Is there one on the way back to the third window, or I mean, apparently mine is somewhere where the 7th or 8th, near in an alleyway somewhere off the 7th or 8th window, and I think that must be. And then has a look around, like no idea.
That direction.
So remind me again, what are we doing with Vinny's? Because Damian's is essentially criminal damage.
Keep your voice down, cat.
I don't think people really care.
So
Criminal damage.
I've
It's
gotta go
paladin
to-
damage because Damian is the one who will be doing it, and therefore it's accepted by the church.
That's not how that
making
It might be.
wow.
It might be accepted by a church somewhere.
Isn't that right, Damian?
Well, if Damian does it and it's accepted by the church, then
Romulus, what is a
Cool.
church? I'm a member of a knightly order. I'm a bit confused. This is endorsed in principle and theory by my Lord Commander. Not that he knows anything about it, but you know, I have a letter of recommendation that says it is officially endorsed.
I can't wait for this one to be negotiated. This is yeah. No, we get busted. Hey, you! It's officially endorsed. Brought to you.
This particular criminal
Bye.
damage was sponsored by the Knights of Paloon.
Have a
That'll
nice
go down well
day.
in Zaker's crossing.
Oh dear me.
So I've got to go and scout out, or just at least walk past, or exactly locate a shop. And Vinny, what have you got to do?
Well, I've got to find this house, which I may have difficulty getting into, seeing it's a private establishment,
Okay,
and the auction house, which I should be able to
that should be
walk
easy to
around and
find.
ask questions without arousing too much suspicion.
Okay. Do you know which direction any of these are? Are any of them places we've gone through before?
Chris, do I know the answers to these questions?
Nope, you haven't passed either of them yet. Everything that your next destinations take are areas you haven't been to, except for the buying cinnamon.
Oh, I see. Because the third window directly led to the fifth window, didn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, we didn't go through
directly
another window
led to
then.
the 4th and the 5th as independent ones because they share the middle.
Yeah. And then the 6th, 7th, and 8th are elsewhere.
Yeah, 6th, 7th, and 8th are further down in the opposite direction on the southern side of town.
Okay.
Or
Right,
city, I should say.
Yeah. I guess. I guess I ask somebody around. Could you tell us which way we're meant to go for? I'm gonna say the 4th window because you know that's a number that's below between 3 and 5, so it must be vaguely nearby in Damian's theory.
For what?
So I'm just gonna approach somebody and ask, could you give us directions to the 4th window, please?
What's heading to the 4th for?
That's the. I thought that was where the penthouse was. That's what I've written down here.
Oh, if you mean for Vinny's quest, yes, but there's also directions in the book in the note.
Oh, so we actually have.
Both of your letters have full directions to them.
Oh, okay. So we
Yeah,
actually
but
know where
don't
they are.
the-
Oh, okay. Then that's fine. We
Don't
just
the
gotta-
directions start at the inn though?
They started the Firefly stacks, yeah. But
Oh, okay, right.
I
In
mean,
that
you
case,
know how to get there from here, so.
we're gonna head back to the Firefly stacks, and we may as well get your spices then, Romulus.
Excellent.
Now
Okay.
that we've been told the information, we've actually got directions there.
Yeah,
that
it's in-
solves the discussion.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
it's in the letters. I believe it says the scroll contains directions to the target location, and that's based off of the Firefly stacks, so it's easy for you to
Right.
centralize
Okay.
yourself and work from there.
Cool. Okay. Right. I guess we head to the third window then.
Okay. Heading to the third
Cool.
window. Not too difficult. The time of day is beginning to pass on a bit, and it is beginning to reach the kind of later afternoon, or mid-afternoon, getting close to the later afternoon sections as it does now reach 3. As you reach the third window, you otherwise have a look around. I'll say, Romulus, make me another perception check.
Oh, I love me a perception check. I shall indeed check my perception. That is a positive bonus of +3, making that a 15 altogether.
Okay. So going to otherwise have a look around and looking around each of the stalls. There are a lot of stalls here at the third window, as you remember from being here originally, where the newspaper was attempted to be sold to you. Or just before, rather. You look around and you can see that there are plenty of stalls and kind of cafes and inns and different kinds of places that are around here, general establishments. But you do know that there are a large number of these stalls that are out and about, some on different levels that are selling different things. Some are kind of hidden away in small alcoves of the cloud window, other are more in the open. But you do note that there are a few which are at the base, which have more customers going about them, which are selling herbs and spices by the looks of it.
Oh my god, that's
I mean,
amazing.
the first thing I want to do is quite obviously get me some sugar.
Okay. Heading over, I assume to that one, given you've spotted it. You see what looks to be a kind of a older half-elven lady, currently there in front of the stall, helping different individuals out. And as you approach, and goes, "Hi, what can I get you?"
Greetings. I am looking for a reasonably large amount of sugar, preferably brown or golden sugar, but whatever you have, it should be fine.
We have brown sugar and white sugar. How much would you go after?
Harlan is doing some quick calculations in his head. Approximately 6 pounds of sugar.
Oh, 6 small bags of sugar. Nice.
6 pounds of sugar.
Wait, no, that's too much. Sorry. Well, I do need some afterwards. Let's say 5 pounds of sugar.
5 pounds of sugar. That will cost you 5 gold.
Fuck, that's always so pricey, but absolutely. I hand over 5 gold pieces.
Okay. She gets you the 5 pounds of sugar.
I just
Ties
put them in the
off, hands
crates.
them over. Anything else you're after?
Well, I don't know if you would have it here, but I am looking for cinnamon.
We do. Cinnamon is on the up and up at the moment in terms of price, so it would be more expensive than usual. How many pounds of it would you be after?
Harlan is going to check how much cinnamon. Harlan doesn't know the fantasy measurement, so Harlan's just going to look up what an actual goddamned the weight of actual cinnamon. Okay, so like one entire jar of cinnamon is 40 grams.
Yeah, that's about.
I will go for a
tenth.
single pound of cinnamon, and
Okay.
I'll be good.
That'll be 4 gold then, please.
Casually last you the rest of the campaign because that's a lot of cinnamon.
That's a lot of cinnamon. Yes, I will spend my money.
All right. Okay, so that's 4 gold, and that gets you a full pound of cinnamon. Alright. Anything else you'd be after? Depending on what you're making?
Well, I'm attempting to make a small, easy to consume sweet snack of sliced tart apple, lightly brushed with lemon juice to ensure its continued freshness and tartness, then dusting that with brown sugar and cinnamon.
Sounds like you got everything that you need then. Alright.
I believe so.
Alright, thank you kindly. Otherwise gives you a nod. Next up. Okay. You got what you need. Okay.
I go and do that.
Okay. So you're going to go and start doing that at the Firefly Stacks?
No, because that's all happening tomorrow, I believe. But I am going to see if there's anywhere around here I can get like just a nice table or tray that I can fold up and take with me.
And take with you?
You know what? Is there any wood nearby? I'll just make my own table.
There doesn't... I mean, if you want to buy a log to carve into a table, you can. If you want to buy furniture, there are carpentry shops around. If you want to hire a table, you can, but there aren't any fold-up ones.
These people
Are you
really
sort of
are
like-
animals.
Are you sort of like after the sort of tray that you would like take to a table if you're at a cafe sort of thing, just so that you can like prepare and do stuff like that?
No, my main thing is I just need some place to place these. So like a table.
You have
I
a
will
table
just-
in your room in the Firefly Stacks, so you can
Yeah.
just set up in there if you wanted to. It's just that you won't be able to do this on the move, and you won't be able to just do this wherever you want in the street either.
All right. I absolutely could. I just need to bring a table with me, Chris. How much can one weigh? What? 200 pounds?
It depends entirely on where you will be going with all of this.
Casually down a back dark alley where I'm just gonna start preparing my food and.
I mean, there's
drink,
already there's already been quite a few alleys which you and Kat have kind of had to push to go through. A rigid table is not going to enjoy that experience.
This is fair.
So yeah, there's not really much in the way of being able to do that. So if you want to set up in your room, then you can.
I think I'll just have to make my own table. It doesn't even need to be a table. I just need a large flat surface that I can reasonably attach legs to, or something I can roll with me.
So are you looking for a log to carve? Are you looking for a...
Okay. So what I'm really looking for in general, and just tell me what the best way to do this is I'm looking for a large flat surface that I can just place all of these apples on, and do the chopping and the dusting, because all the chopping and dusting is literally just knife, place, sprinkle over a load of them. So that's not going to be a problem. I just need a large flat surface.
Is this to take with you?
This is to either make there or take with me. I am happy to physically create this out of wood.
If you want to, this will take potentially days to make.
That is the problem.
I mean, you can try and make a table, but I mean, as someone who commissioned a table from someone and it took 4 months to be ready.
That's just because they're lazy.
No. They were making it and sanding it and sorting it out and actually getting it properly made per specification. If it was a simpler table, then maybe it would take them a month, maybe less. But we're still looking in a situation where it's not going to be a quick project.
I don't really need like a table. I don't need to look like it. I just need a flat surface.
Okay, so the top of a table which you would need to cut and sand flat, got it, and then you would probably need to polish,
like
or you're going to have...
I roll with me and sand flat. the sand flat is or the shaving flat is probably the most likely thing. It doesn't need to be like perfectly flat. It just needs to be a place I can place things on.
No, but it would then need to be polished, or you're going to end up with a lot of sawdust in your food.
Well,
I can put a
you
tablecloth
know.
over it.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Is this where we need to pause the campaign for half an hour to get Fraser on the horn?
Let's put it this way. I will say this. If you want to buy the materials to build a table, or the equivalent of, in a cheapest budget manner that you want to, I will say that it will cost you 45 gold to buy the materials. You will then need to spend up to 3 days worth of activities, which is a cumulative amount of 48 hours of active activity in order to make the table, or to make the equivalent of. Because even if you were to get a perfectly round, unless you were able to get a perfectly round, perfectly flat piece of wood, which would be pre-carved and would probably cost about 100 gold, you still wouldn't then have legs to go with it. It's also one of those that at that point you wouldn't then be able to fit through alleyways because it would be wider than you.
I know where I can find legs.
Yeah, thinking that. It's unfortunate. Poor
Oh my
Lloyd,
god.
poor Lloyd Steed is going to be sacrificed for a table.
Yeah.
So let's put it this way.
no.
If you wish to spend 3 days making a table or the equivalent of, which I'm being generous on for the sake of this, then you can by all means.
Just we won't see you for 3
Just
days.
keep
and
in
we'll be
mind,
doing
this
all the
means
antics.
this means that the rest of the party will be doing stuff for 3 days, which means that I'll probably have to ask you to be absent for 8 sessions or more. Just because it's Romulus woodworking sessions for the entire time.
That would be
Okay.
an ASMR D&D session on the night session.
Preparing food is very different, because preparing food is quick. Making a table, that's something you're probably going to have to do in a short time activity when the party's taking a small time skip for something.
Can't we just buy a small table?
You
We
can.
have a small table. It's in the room.
Yeah, you have a small table in your room.
Then
It just
just
means
use
that
the
you'll...
table.
from
Can
the
I
room.
bring the table with me?
No, they won't let you.
Ah, you see, that's the problem. I just need somewhere to
just take
place
it
the
out.
things.
Throw it out a window.
Where, other than the room, are you planning on needing to place
I'm planning on like placing them out so people can just grab them. I suppose I could come with like a basket or something with them in, but that just
You
feels
have 2
cheap.
crates. You have 2 crates to put them in. They're currently
technically,
holding
yeah.
apples. You just put them in the crate and take the crate out, and you become
Alright,
a
fine.
sailor.
Fine. I just wanted to give them a nice experience of like some nice, well-made, well set out and displayed food for them to take and enjoy. But no, fine. I'll just bring my crates and throw apples at people like a heathen, like everyone else in this godforsaken city.
There are
Oh,
people
we could-
preparing food and making it.
We
It's-
could line the crates.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking like I'm gonna grab like a suitable tablecloth or something like that, so that so that the crates can be nicely lined. Preferably like what's the stuff they? You know what? I'm just gonna straight up go for like waxed parchment.
Waxed parchment to cover a table?
Yeah. No.
Or
well,
to
okay,
line
no.
boxes?
Line the crates so that I can then bring the pre-chopped and prepared apples with me.
Okay. That... If you're looking to purchase that, that would cost you...
I am happy to personally wax the parchment if that makes it easier for you.
Do you have wax?
This place has to have honey, right? It's got to have beeswax somewhere.
Somewhere in this city has got to have imported baby bells.
Okay, for the sake of brevity, because we have been doing this for like 15 minutes
yeah.
for this, I will say if you want to if you're committed to the wax parchment section of this, it will put you back, because of the cost of beeswax and the cost of parchment. This will put you back
Okay.
22 gold.
Jesus Christ. Okay, can you just tell me what would be a good thing to line the crates with so that it's like at least reasonable for me to put sliced apples in there?
If you you're okay, so you're wanting a surface in order to put the apples on for people to take, correct? Are you wanting
no,
to
no,
prepare stuff on this as well?
At this particular point in time, what I am suggesting is pre-prepare the apples because the lemon juice will at
Okay.
least make them a lot easier to maintain for a longer period of time.
Okay.
On the day of the thing, and we'll then place them into the crates. I'm wanting something to line the crates with, so that the apples at least are not on bare wood.
Okay, so you just need a place to display them. Yes?
Display them, or again, just something to put in the crates so I can carry the crates around and like be like,
Okay.
here, have some apples.
It will cost
Here, have
it will
some
cost
apples.
you 5
Hey, you,
gold
eat
to
an apple.
hire a stall for a day.
Why did we have this whole conversation? Why could
Because I
Not
thought you were
before.
taking the table with you so you could do the preparing when you got to the place while the rest of your party scouted out a location. If you're pre-preparing it in your room and then you're setting this out so that people can buy and take stuff, then...
This is on the day. This is I'm doing this to fully act as a distraction, so I've got an excuse to be there yelling loudly at people, being like, "Hey, free apples!"
So all of this was just set up for you to be obnoxious to the NPCs.
No,
Yes.
no. It is
Yes.
partially for me to be obnoxious to the NPCs. The rest of it is because I'm trying to get us some good cred here, because obviously they hate you and me.
All right, yeah, fair. Okay, they do hate
Yeah,
us.
I've
but
got there is method to my madness. There are layers here.
I will say, if you wish to do this, you will have to man the store for the full 8 hours of which you have hired it.
Honestly, I'm kind of fine with that. That just makes everything a lot funnier.
Okay, so then the next question will be, when do you want to do this? Because in the next 2 days you have business, and if anything happens after that and you abandon the stall, that'll have to be noted.
I mean, I only need it for a day, I believe. We are only going to be there for the racketeering bit. So that'll be tomorrow, I believe.
Probably. I mean, probably it'd be tomorrow or the day after, depending on whether we do Vinny's first or mine first. I suppose.
Okay. Whatever. Either way, everything I've got should last that long, so that's fine.
Yeah.
I just need to hire a cart, like a cart or a stall or whatever, for a day, and I'm just literally going to be there, like, here, have
Apple desserts.
apple. Yeah. Pre-made dessert thing, and I don't need a business license or anything because I'm not selling anything. This is pure charity.
You don't need a business license anyway. If you're hiring a stall to sell goods, you can just do that, provided the goods are legal.
That also works. Oh, that's fair. Okay, I'm still sending it out for free, but that's nice. That I know for certain I wouldn't be breaking any laws.
No, you just have to be able to fit it on the stall. That's the catch.
And also the other catch is if you set up the stall outside the shop, you may end up in combat with the stall.
This is absolutely fine. You guys are not ready for my 30 pounds of apple attack.
So are you planning to put the apples outside of a place you're racketeering?
That's how
I'm
I've got it in my
planning to-
mind. I might be wrong.
I'm planning to be like slightly away from it, like a little bit down the street, and then I'm going to be very loudly sort of trying to draw everyone's attention of like, here we have free apples for all of for anyone who wishes them, covered in cinnamon and sugar, and a delicious treat for all ages. If
Or
it
which
will,
area?
This would have to be presumably in the 7th or 8th window, as opposed to in an alleyway, which you won't be able to get a
Yeah.
stall into.
For
That'd
which,
be my guess.
for which one specifically? Because the penthouse is on the 9th layer on the top,
No,
which you won't be able to get it up
for the
there.
shop.
Damian's
For Damian's
for
shop.
the shop.
For Damian's one, which is thoroughly within the dark alleys because it's an underground fighting ring.
Yes, absolutely within the dark alleys.
Okay. You wouldn't be able to get a contractor who'll let you take it in there.
Oh,
Oh my god!
Okay, so we're back to buying this table.
just let me buy a tablecloth. I don't care anymore. A tablecloth of some description, okay?
Okay, tablecloth, 2 silver.
Excellent.
Oh God. Okay. Holy crap.
Now, we're done. It's over. I'm going to be bringing the crates down. The crates will have the pre-prepared apples in them. Whilst I am there, I will just be handing these out to people. If they take them, great. If they hate me, also fine.
Is this the
As long as I am distracting.
And this is for the racketeering, correct?
This is for being me. I will be outside the racketeering place, basically acting as the world's most annoying fruit seller as a distraction.
Which is going to be hilarious because you won't be able to see if it's a dark alley.
It's a
So you
good
just have
thing I'm
people
already
nicking
giving
the apple.
everything away for free.
Okay.
Because I am going to get so much of this shite stolen from me.
Okay, so
They're
to
going
get
to take the goddamn crates as well.
so to get this started, Romulus, if you're going to be preparing these apples for the racketeering, you'll have to start now in order to if this is going to be for the scouting or the actual operation.
For the actual operation.
Not
For the
actual
actual operation. Okay, if this is happening for the actual operation, then that's up to your party when you're doing that, but you'll need to prepare these apples and then set them up, which will probably take about 2 hours given the amount that you've bought. So it's up to you when you wish to do that. If you wish to do that tomorrow or
my helpful
today.
friends decide to help me.
I refuse.
We're scouting.
Jeff said it'd help.
Yeah, scouting now, it'll take 2 hours to set it up. Like, we can do it tomorrow.
I can help.
I refuse.
So,
I have a knife. Pulls out my dagger.
I
I can
assume
help.
I'm just gonna
Cat,
take.
we're in a public
give me-
place.
give me a
Put it
second.
away.
Okay.
Oh,
Give me a second. I'm just gonna roll. Do I trust Cat to be able to cut an apple?
Yes, natural 20, of course.
Yes, I trust Cat to be able to cut an apple and not fuck it up.
Okay, so after spending half an hour going through a plan about setting up apples outside of a racketeering business tomorrow,
Cave fall
You-
asleep.
during that time, for the sake of brevity, Lloyd has let Damian know where the horses are, and Lloyd has wandered off because he has business to attend to, and he will be being absent from the campaign for the time being. Lloyd is gone. During this time also, while this is happening, or after this has happened, what is your next order of operations? Vinny and Damian, are you going your separate ways to search out your stuff, or are you going as a group?
I guess given the time, we'd better split, but I'd rather not. I'd rather we had somebody with each of us, if that makes sense.
I'm going with Vinny.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Okay. And Damian, do you want to have Cat or Romulus go with you?
Yeah, can do.
yeah, I'll
very
go
much
with
We
down
can
to
get
then
Damian.
lost
scout
in
out
dark
where's the
alleys.
best place for me to do that.
I do need somebody
Yeah.
with dark vision.
Okay, right, I will go with him.
No. Wait,
Okay.
Do you have dark vision?
I can see through Jeff. I found a way to get around it.
All it'll take is one stab and that familiar's gone, and so is her dark vision. It'll be great. One natural one, that's all it will take.
BRB, by the way.
Oh,
So,
In that case, do Vinny's.
okay, so
Scout
Vinny and
first.
Kay, you're off scouting. We'll start with you and sort that out. So,
Mhm.
the two of you following the directions, go ahead and make me either survival or perception check with advantage as you have directions. Alternatively, you may make an intelligence check.
That's no good for me. Is that one check each, or?
That you can either make one check each, or you can make one with advantage.
Hmm. I mean,
You will succeed I will say this, you'll succeed regardless. It's just the higher roll will determine how long it takes. So you want higher so it takes less time.
do you want to roll or me?
Well, I think survival is probably the best skill for this. If you have
I got a +2.
better than me.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a
So-
survival check with advantage then, please. Okay, 15. Otherwise, travelling through initially going through some of the dark alleys before rising into what looks to be more well-lit, kind of crystal lantern hung from the platforms above them, are very encased and enclosed alleyways that otherwise run through and in between buildings in almost like this network of veins that run through the city itself. You go up several layers, finding areas where there are ramps and a few ladders that help you ascend multiple layers at a time. But you do eventually reach what looks to be the 6th layer from what you count, where the air begins to become thinner, where it begins to be more open, and there is a light breeze rushing through, as the walkways give way from kind of wood in places to more of a polished wood, one that's more well kept and varnished, and even though it's open to the air, it is outside furniture level. It is very well kept up here. And as you continue upwards, you can see that there are very few individuals up here that aren't guards. You see a large number of guards that are in place up here that are of a golden armor coloration, with what looks to be a few that are wearing the yellow and black checker that you would recognize as the city guard. You continue on your way. I'd like both of you to roll me stealth checks, please, to not draw attention to yourselves.
Do they appear to be like manning checkposts or anything, or are they just
They're wandering on
generally
patrols.
looking around? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Stealth, that's a 21.
Using inspiration there, Kay?
Yep.
I am returned.
Welcome back.
Uh,
So,
Has anyone died?
not yet.
An 8's not gonna cut it for me, so I had to use my inspiration.
Yeah. So that takes it up to a 17.
Yes.
And what was yours again, Vinny?
21.
Okay. Managing not necessarily to blend in, but to avoid the direct ire of any of the large patrols, you do travel through these kind of much more open and broader areas of ramp and walkway as you begin to scale through this almost light hilly section as it begins to get further and further up, reaching the 7th, 8th, and finally you begin to see the top layer itself. The top layer seems to be stone, strangely enough. You can see the supports rising up, and you'd travelled around them a few times for the main ramps that head up into the upper layers, that there are these large sections of stone that carve all the way up through the city towards this top layer, where you can see there are these buildings that have been set up here. You can see the stone is of a bright white coloration, similar to that as these floating rocks around the city itself. But you do note that there is a large presence of these flying machines that are otherwise circling the area in patrols, groups of 2 or 3 at a time. You also note that there are a large number of guards up here, a few of whom seem to be wearing more house crests as opposed to actual city garb or mercenary armor. You are now looking into the territory of what is the poshest area of this city. Among them you see, and a noted building according to what you believe to be the area that you're intending to go to, is a large tower. It's not huge per se in comparison to the rest of the city, but it does rise 2 stories in total compared to the buildings around, which all seem to be mostly single story within this upper section of city. You do note that where it rises up, it has a few balconies around the edge, and it does connect to another kind of singular story building in this kind of outer section of this upper area.
Well, the welcome so far hasn't given much cause for optimism, but why don't we take a closer look?
Agreed.
Okay. Wandering up, you can see, as you otherwise reach the edge of this section, that it does have a small wall around the exterior of this. And where the platform is built of this kind of brighter white stone, it does seem to kind of give off this slight, you're not sure, but almost radiation to it, a feeling of comfort about it. as you begin to approach. The walkway up leads to a gate where there is a singular checkpoint where you can see there are what looks to be 4 or 5 different guards wearing different house crests currently standing around chatting. How do you wish to approach?
But we want to draw as little attention as possible, so I would guess just try and walk past. Try not to make it look too obvious that we're taking a close look. Like if we attract any of the guards' attention, just wave and smile and move on.
Okay. I would like both of you to make me persuasion or performance checks of your choice.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry.
Welcome back.
Are we both rolling?
Yes, persuasion or performance check of your choice.
Persuasion for me, that's 19.
19, okay.
I will go for performance, I suppose. No.
No,
That's
okay.
a 3.
Okay.
I hate.
Okay. Trying to not draw as much attention as you can, trying to avoid it as best as you can. The checkpoint guards do note your immediate approach, and as you kind of just give a light wave as you are traveling up to the checkpoint. As to travel parallel to it would be very difficult, given you'd be on the layer below and you wouldn't really be able to see anything other than the tops of the buildings. You kind of begin to travel up to the main checkpoint, and the individuals kind of take note of your arrival and kind of adjust themselves as one kind of bars your path by putting them leaning their weapon to one side. Excuse me, may I ask who you're here to see?
Oh, no one in particular. My friend and I were just new in town, and we were hoping to see the area we're looking to move into.
Well, Sunshine, it's unfortunately off limits up here unless you have business with one of the higher houses. If you want to book an appointment, otherwise contact them through their various business representatives, yada yada yada, otherwise clear off. This area is off limits to the general public.
But it is private housing up here, right?
Correct.
Good to know, good to know. Well, it's promising that the security seems competent. I don't know, what do you think, Kay?
Good protection might be worth it for us.
I would like both of you to roll me a deception check, please.
Of course.
Oh no, both.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Okay.
I got
See
a
if I can
10 at
salvage
least.
this.
10.
Better. Deception, that is 18.
18.
Hey,
18 out of
doesn't
10.
need to be charismatic.
Okay. The house guards otherwise look at you and go, well, it's our duty to stop people from getting in. That's how it is. If you're wanting to buy or you're looking for anything like that, there are contractors below that can otherwise get you set up here. But most of the houses up here are done by private funding, so can't let you in, I'm afraid.
Fair enough. Are there lots available, or even houses going straight up?
Houses, not so much. Lots, there is room from what I know, but that's done directly through the paying system. You need to speak to the... Where are they? Where is their name? You'll need to otherwise get in contact with the Brackstone Builders. They've got large guilds throughout the city itself, but mostly they're around the Wade Gates. Yeah, the entrances you came through in town. Can't say I know the cost, but I know that it's at least a 5-digit sum.
It's a trifling sum that will soon be.
Honestly, I kind of expected more.
Well, if that'll be all clear off, can't have you lingering around here, otherwise we'll have to get you in trouble.
Fair enough, fair enough. That will be all for now. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Apologies, I didn't take your name.
He looks at you and kind of squints his eyes for a moment. Make me a persuasion check with
Real
disadvantage.
Karen maneuver there.
With disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Yep.
Yikes.
Names are
Disclosure.
worth a
Good
lot. Names are worth a lot around here.
11.
Don't go passing anything on.
Is there any chance of spending my inspiration?
No, unfortunately not.
There's
Aww.
no need.
You'd have to be present for that, but in this instance, no. For me to even consider it, but no. Okay. You are turned away at the gate,
I
and they
just love
watch
the
you
idea of
go.
you getting this guy.
So,
What was unclear about that building?
if we make arrangements with these builders, we may be able to get through the gate, but I don't know. I think we'll have better luck at the auction house.
Yes, probably. What is it that we're looking for again?
An item one of the nobles has.
Okay.
Wasn't expecting all that much. Private housing tends to be pretty locked up pretty tight, but always worth seeing just how close you can get.
Didn't get very close this time, though.
No. There may be a way in around the back. Find a hole in security, but it's not really my area of expertise.
Okay.
Yes.
Actually, no. Kay and Vinny, you would both notice this. As you are walking and talking, there aren't necessarily many guards around you, but you do note that they're with the patrols that are going on overhead. A few of them seem to be circling in your general area.
Fuck, we've been made! Run!
These are the overhead ones, right?
These are the overhead ones, yeah.
They can't have very much so yet, but let's not go directly to the second place. Especially being aware of the patrols, I'm being clear to try and mutter this as much as possible.
The second place, if you mean the auction house, is within the lantern hallways, so it's down to the second layer. So you would have plenty of overhead cover. It'd lose you the moment you duck into the fifth.
Yeah, I'm thinking let's just take a couple of minor detours. Like do a couple minutes window shopping just to not make it completely obvious where our destination is.
Who was next to roll a random d20, by the way?
I think it was me.
Okay, go ahead and roll me d20.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm here for that one.
Oh,
I got double one.
Okay.
2 of them.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. No, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I guess we should. Make our way there slowly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you proceed to the auction house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In which case, let's move to the other group while you make your way there. So, Damian, Cat, and Romulus. You three travel through the dark alleys instead, given that your business is less the high tops of society. You otherwise find yourselves going through the darker areas and sections of town. The light level here is very fleeting in places. There's only a few lanterns about, and most of them aren't being held by people. They're only atop certain establishments that wish to make themselves known, by the looks of it, amongst the dark alley. But there are a large number of individuals who otherwise linger down here. As you are travelling by, you are drawing quite a bit of an ire as people are kind of watching, and a few are moving by. And quite a few are watching, and a few are tailing, from what you can tell. But without proper dark vision, it's a bit difficult to tell, as Cat is the only one who can actually see right now, and is the one following the map, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm probably more engrossed in the map than I am what's going on
perfect.
around. Especially since I'm currently trying to read a map through an owl's eyes while I'm holding with my own body. It's taken a lot of concentration.
So Damian's just sort of listening out, because that's basically all he can really do. He's just listening for any sounds.
Mm-hmm. There are the occasional lights that you do see in lanterns, which are kind of lightly illuminating areas, or there is light streaking out of establishments. So it's not like you are going completely blind,
Yeah.
but it's
So
not
when he
welcoming.
can see some light, he's sort of glancing around.
Yeah. So I will say, Cat, go ahead and roll me a survival or perception check with disadvantage if you're using perception. Actually, no, because you've got the map, it will be a flat roll if you're using perception, or advantage if you're using survival.
Well, it ain't going to be perception because I've got -1 to that bad boy. Survival it is. So that's
Okay.
advantage with survival, yeah?
Advantage because you got the map, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And it is +1.
Okay. Travelling through the dark alleys as best you can, following the instructions, you eventually reach the area of your destination. What looks to be an establishment. There are what looks to be 2 lanterns on the outside of it that are otherwise illuminating a main doorway that leads inside of it. But you can see that it's just a mostly unmarked area by the looks of it, but there is the smell of alcohol coming from this establishment, along with a lot of other smells, which I would say Damian and Romulus, given you two are more prone to sense of smell given the lack of sight here, go ahead and roll me perception checks or nature checks, please, for me. Each one will yield different results.
Now, I'm probably likely to go with nature here, I suspect.
Okay, and Romulus?
Run me through my choices again.
Perception or nature. Each will yield different results. And you're relying on smell, so you're not hindered by the lack of light here.
That's 14 for nature for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that good of a nature, so I'll go for the perception then.
Okay.
My senses are heightened by the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow. We'll pretend that that's how that works.
Yep.
15.
Okay, 15 on perception. You can pick up the smells. There's strong booze here. There is also a distinct smell of sweat and iron, suggesting that this is indeed the fighting tavern that you have been looking for in this instance, as you are otherwise prepared to head inside, Cat obviously leading the way. Damian, with your 14, was it, for nature?
Yep.
You are picking up very, not necessarily strong sense, but subtle sense of various drug use as well.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. Some lower end ones, such as tobacco or other ones that you have crossed in the past, along with a few strong ones, which your nose does pick up on, and the smell is not necessarily entirely detestable to you, as it's not necessarily meant to be, but it is very much something that you catch. And this is very much a seedy establishment.
Oh, good. Good.
We're going to blend in perfectly here.
Oh,
Two people
yeah,
that aren't
definitely.
seen and a knight in armor. Yeah, this'll work.
Perfect.
So the outside is literally just a door with a light, and there's no window or anything. It's literally just
No windows.
right.
So Cat, Romulus, and Damian. As you enter in, the area is otherwise illuminated by a faint blue light, as you know to be the cheapest of the convenience crystals. But it is a full tavern. There are a large number, the map is otherwise on the table now if you wish to get a better visual. The area is otherwise filled with a number of tables, there are a large number of chairs, and there are individuals currently eating and enjoying themselves, currently just drinking and getting on with their life, but no one seems to be fighting necessarily. You do note that behind the bar there is this otherwise pretty stocky and large individual covered with thick patches of fur and kind of a longer snout to them, with what looks to be these kind of black spots mixed with their kind of almost savannah sand fur of what looks to be, for I'd say, Romulus, you'd be the only one who's really encountered these before, a gnoll. He's currently standing behind the bar serving drinks.
Huh.
There are a large number of people otherwise eating and talking and chatting, and as you enter, a few people do kind of look your way before going back to their business. Notably, most people in here are wearing cloaks or some form of cover.
Okay,
There is also a door here and a door here, as marked by the lanterns on the larger posts.
bear with me, I'm noting this down because I need to note this down.
Oh, okay.
There and there.
Cool.
What should you want for drinking, friends? Can't say I've seen you through here before. Barman otherwise looking at you lot. Something weak for the little one.
Milkshake? No, you didn't even think to keep things. Well, maybe you do. Milkshake?
Cat, I do not believe that they will have that here.
Water?
Water we can do. Might taste a bit off, but we have some. What about you, big fella?
My water skin over to her.
Oh,
What?
okay.
What have you got?
A lot of harder spirits. We've got various rums. We have some stronger stuff if you're looking for something a bit more fiery. Don't do well with wines, though. That's not for us.
Fiery, you say?
Yes.
I don't think you can cook on it.
Yes, I imagine there's nowhere down here where anyone could cook anything, is there?
No. Not in the slightest.
Inciting the shit out of it.
Go for it.
How bright is it in here?
It's dim light, but there is still visibility, so you can actually see a bit better.
That is plus 3. 16.
16. There isn't. The gnoll, as much as you would go, oh yeah, this individual might be trying to lie, they aren't a very good liar. And in this instance, they are
like that.
They are just telling you the truth. There is none. And looking around the room, everybody is eating sandwiches. Which suggests to you there is one thing on the menu today, if ever.
Well, how fiery are we talking with this alcohol? I presume alcohol. If it's just fruit juice, I will be disappointed.
We have dwarven dragon ale. Or perhaps if you're after something a bit stronger, We have Thunder Brew from the north.
Do I know what either of these are?
I would say you have not tried or had
I'm
either of these.
I'm confident I'd know about Dwarven Dragon Ale, given I spent a lot of time around Dwarf.
That's true. You did learn. You did learn from them. So Dwarven Dragon Ale, you would know, is one of their strongest drinks that they do.
But no idea about the Thunder Brew.
No, Thunder Brew, you have no idea.
But you've been told it's stronger than the Dwarven Dragon Ale.
Yes. Yeah, so you're looking at something which has a kick, despite not necessarily having high alcohol content.
What I'm looking for here is the thing that will earn me the most credit if I just down it without flinching. So I'm assuming that's the Thunder
That would
Brew.
be the Thunder Brew, yeah.
I will take... What's a normal measure of this Thunder Brew?
You want just a tankard of the stuff?
Jesus.
Oh God.
Given your size, it would be great to see you drink it down.
Okay, so I don't need to insight this. I know that this is fully him just wanting to see this and it being I'm gonna guess ludicrous amount.
Quite possibly, you don't know. If you want to roll an insight check, you can.
Oh, you bastard. 15.
They don't necessarily seem to be overestimating it by any means. Given your size and your build, they're fairly certain you could probably manage a stronger drink, even if that is potentially more than usual.
All right, yeah, I'll take a tankard.
It'll be 1 silver then, please. Goes over, fills up a tankard of it for you. Pay the 1 silver.
Yep. How much?
Okay.
What do I have to roll to down it in 1, Chris?
This would be a Constitution check, and given you're downing it in 1, the DC will be increased by 5.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to do it.
All right, go ahead.
If this ends poorly, it's just hilarious. No,
Who's carrying him home?
I know this is in no way what it's meant to be used for, but is there any chance you would let me what's the word I'm looking for here? Is there any chance you'd let me use a reckless attack there as a reckless drink?
No.
Worth
If you
a
want to
try.
impose further disadvantage, then go for it. But otherwise,
Yeah,
no.
that's fair.
Rage.
Rage, I believe, is only for strength, not con. Still.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That'll be for smashing the drink down afterwards.
That
Con save
is-
total.
I'm afraid that is only a 14.
You down it in 1, and you immediately feel like this kick and burn of your stomach wanting to reject it. There is an immediate and
No.
instinctive reaction of acid reflux as you begin to kind of belch and hold your own, try and hold your own. Before the gnoll kind of steps back and hoists a bucket onto the countertop for you. And not too soon either, as you retch immediately into the bucket. Any contents of what you ate the previous day is gone and up.
Excellent. Another.
Okay.
Oh,
Pay another
Damian,
silver and
whilst
give
I
it
it's
another
hand
go.
over another silver piece.
Okay,
I'm
make it
gonna.
with disadvantage because you are now drunk.
Okay, I'm
No,
gonna
I'm
get Damian.
not downing this one. I'm just drinking this one.
Oh, you're just drinking this one. Okay. Drinking it slowly is better. I'll still say make a constitution saving throw with advantage. Because you are drunk, so you can potentially be susceptible to the vomits. No, in this
That's
instance you're
21.
okay. Yeah, you're okay in this instance as you otherwise drinking it down and finding it okay and palatable for the time being.
While this interaction is occurring, Damian's
Mhm.
going to try and study the clientele and anything that he can tell distinctly about the room or from where he is, the door.
Okay. What do you mean from where he is the door?
Well, so where he wants to study the clientele, who
Uh-huh.
are obviously around.
Yep.
He also wants to study the room in general, and he also
Mhm.
just wants to have a quick look at the doors and see if he can see anything to do with those.
Okay. The doors themselves are both closed. However, you are noting that as this door does open, an individual comes through with a plate of food and places it down on one of the tables, collects more of the disused cups and plates, and then walks back into this room.
Okay.
This door does not open for while you are here, it would seem. While you're otherwise looking around the clientele, go ahead and make me a perception or insight check of your choice. This will
While
be
he
the...
does that, I've got a quick logistics question.
Mhm.
To put a charge into my stored room for detect thoughts, do
Yep.
I need to do anything verbal or somatic?
No, you just need to touch it.
Okay,
just
I'm
a
going to do that
27 on
and
insight. Don't mind
activate
it.
it.
Okay, what was that? Sorry.
Just a 27 on insight. Don't
Okay,
mind it.
and what was the thing about the rune? You were just pumping a thing
I'm
into it.
going to, yep, and I'm going to activate it.
Okay, so that will be D3 charges into it, and this for the detect
Yeah.
thoughts.
Yep.
Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. With the 27, looking around the clientele of the room, there is a smattering of different people around here. You note that there are what looks to be humans sat in the room. There are what looks to be more, not necessarily humans. Taller, lankier individuals, kind of long nose, pointed and downward ears, not necessarily elven, but individuals that you have seen around the place before. You do also note what looks to be a few bird folk standing around, or kind of mingling within this space, for the most part. What looks to be a few elves, and amongst the room you also see what looks to be what looks to be a singular tiefling who stands out compared to the rest. The singular tiefling is sat at the table closest to the kitchen, and they are sat with one other person, and they have only mugs on their table. With your natural 20 for a total of 27, you pick up that these two are probably the hired hands in the event something were to go wrong in the establishment.
Okay.
So there are individuals for guards in case of a forced break and entry or anything else. Yeah, so I'll say with that natural 20 you pick up on that, and obviously there are kitchen staff heading in and out, and you can't necessarily smell food because nothing's cooking, but they are coming out with sandwiches, collecting plates and stuff, and there does also seem to be they're coming out with a few drinks as well from time to time, suggesting there is maybe something that is less over the countertop, quite possibly water being drunk by people here.
Can't tell anything about the various people who are around, what sort of occupations they might have,
Occupations,
or
it's
clothing, or things like that.
most of them are wearing cloaks and hoods.
Right.
The suggestion of this is more anonymity between everyone. You've picked that up generally from what you have seen of people through here. All of them, despite being in almost complete darkness, wear cloaks and hoods to remain hidden, to remain unseen. You're not entirely sure why, but everybody seems to be very cautious and on edge at all times. And you were popping a detect thoughts, Cat?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You pick up everyone within the room, and in addition to that, you pick up people above you.
Okay. Right.
You pick out that they seem to be in almost a ring almost above you. And you know that obviously there is the layer above, which extends out into above the main walkway that you just came through. So it's quite possible this building extends upwards into more area, perhaps. But there are also establishments to your left, to your right, and it is very disorientating to gauge where everything is, because it might just be there's another building on top. It's hard to say.
Okay. What's trying to concentrate? Can I pick up on specific keywords or anything from thoughts?
It would be targeting a person to listen to thoughts. So are you going to systematically go through everyone here, or are you targeting key individuals?
Okay, so one upstairs. I'll say I'll give 15 seconds to each. So if I say 3 people, so I'll go for whoever's closest to Romulus at the bar, the barman, and whoever's upstairs. One person upstairs.
Okay. So focusing on the barman, you otherwise hear the thoughts of This Minotaur's absolutely nuts drinking thunder brew like that. But hey, it was good. It was worth the silver to see. Not sure what to do about the other two, though. Kind of just generally looking in your two direction, as you are concentrating on the spell. One of the people closest to Romulus, you pick up. What's the Minotaur doing in here? Not welcome? Not at all. Folks shouldn't be around here these times. Should get lost, head back north. And kind of keeping themselves in their cup. And one from upstairs, go ahead and roll me a D20, please.
D20.
20 of the Ds.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now roll me a D8, please.
Oh. D8's a red one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. No.
Okay.
Pretty consistent.
So the one on the 12 o'clock facing and one of the ones from there. So, as you otherwise attempt to focus on one of them from the 12 o'clock facing, you pick up someone going, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. That's all they're saying.
Okay. That didn't help very much. I'm going to put another charge into it. And I'm going to do...
How many
two
charges
towards-
did you get for the last one?
1.
Ah, okay.
I rolled a 1.
Mhm.
I said I'm pretty consistent with my rolls of 1
Oh,
today.
okay. 3 ones
Always
in a row
go
from
well.
different dice.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh.
So, I blame the hotel internet. So, yeah, I'm going to put another charge into it. I'm going to focus on 2 probably down here and 1 different one upstairs.
Okay, go
How
ahead.
many charges do I get in?
3 charges. Better.
3 charges. Let's
Okay.
go.
Okay, so casting Detect Thoughts again and focusing on it and the people down there. The first one, kind of listening into their thoughts, they're just kind of sat there, and as they seem to be muttering to the other person, you can kind of hear, well, if I can get more business for myself, I can otherwise secure a little bit of a future, hopefully help with that. Don't want to leave this place behind, though, or I'll get lynched for it. There's a little bit of thought pattern there. Going to the next table over, just going, oh, this sandwich is great. I haven't had something like this in weeks. It's been quite some time since I've been able to have jam, but, you know, it's been quite some time. Can't wait to otherwise pick up some money and go down to one of the restaurants. Another thought there. And heading up to one upstairs, go ahead and same business, 1d20 and 1d8 for me, please.
Yep.
Okay. Picking up one up there. You otherwise listen in and you can hear... again, listening into the thoughts, you hear... This bout's certainly going well. Fighting's going successfully. Nothing we need to worry about. No trouble today. Today will be an easy shift by the looks of it. Well, at least she's enjoying herself. My turn will be up next. A few moments later, you hear general jeering, and there's kind of a little bit of vibration to the room, which all 3 of you catch.
Right. If I push into that thought of she, does he get the location of where I am, or he just knows that someone's pushing into his mind?
Just knowing that someone's pushing into his mind.
Okay, right.
Actually, I'm going to quickly have a look at the spell to see its exact wording, but I believe you would generally be okay. And this is Detect Thought, isn't it? You can, if you probe deeper, the target must make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, if any, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind, such as something it worries over, loves, or hates. If it succeeds, the spell ends. Either way, the target knows that you are probing into its mind, and unless you shift your attention to another creature's thoughts, the creature can use its action on its turn to make an intelligence check, contesting against your intelligence check. If it succeeds, the spell ends. Questions verbally directed at the target naturally shape the course of its thoughts. Yeah, okay. So in this instance, yeah, you'd be able to probe deeper, but they'd be able to detect who it is.
Okay, so they would know specifically.
They
it was
would
me.
know it's you, but they wouldn't necessarily know it's you until they met you.
Okay. You know what? Yes, let it go. I'm gonna probe more into the she aspect.
Into the she aspect. Okay. Let me quickly get their stats. This is a wisdom save. That is a 14.
And my save is DC 13. Oh, he succeeds.
13. No. So they succeed. And in this instance, your spell ends. But you now know
Okay.
that you've been had.
Well,
That person now knows that somebody was probing their mind.
fair. Okay. Then, yeah, at that point, I will leave be.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing? Romulus, Damian, anything you wish to do?
I'm trying to think. Is there any chance I would have overheard that guy talking behind me about Minotaurs don't belong here?
No, because that was in his thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that was
from
Lloyd's
Detect
thought.
Thoughts, yeah.
Is there even in my drunken state, is there an insight check I could do to discern the general vibe towards Minotaurs in here?
Go for it. Be making it with disadvantage because you're drunk, but go ahead.
This is absolutely fine. I find that infinitely funnier. Oh, that okay.
Pick up and drop.
I don't want to. Hey!
Well, it's a disadvantage.
So that's still a 15, but I want you to appreciate that of how good a roll that was.
Any modifiers for your insight?
+3, so 18.
18. Pretty good for disadvantage. Looking around the room, people seem to be keeping themselves to themselves. Nobody's making eye contact. Nobody's looking at you. There is generally an attitude of very little activity in this place. There isn't cheer, there isn't joy, there's just people.
How many people are in here altogether right now? I can't imagine it's packed.
Probably about 10 at most, given there are a few at the bar.
Guards and barkeep?
Yeah, including the guards, not including the barkeep.
Okay, so it's about 8 clientele. Cool.
Yeah, 8 clientele, yeah, scattered throughout the tables. There are a few in pairs, there are a few kind of just on their own, and tables are being cleared and packed away at times.
Right. So, am I right in thinking that a gold piece should buy everyone in here a drink?
Given the Thunder Brew was quite expensive and pricey, a gold would buy everybody around at least, maybe 2.
I will go for 5 silver pieces then, because
Okay.
that should get everyone one drink.
Okay.
Does that include me and Cat? I just want to clarify this now.
No.
Oh God, no, not at all. Right.
Like, you'll need to make that abundantly clear to the barkeep in your drunken state.
I must be extremely clear with you. I am
Yes.
not purchasing drinks for my companions, for they are their own people, and it would not do for me to infringe upon them. However, The other fine denizens of this establishment do not seem merry. And this I would fix. A round for a drink for everyone in this bar, including yourself. But not me, and not
Thank-
those two. Because
Thank you kindly for your patronage. I'm sure the others will enjoy. There's gestures around the room. There's a general people look towards you, and quite a few like raise cups, but no one says anything.
That's absolutely fine. Acceptable. I hand over. That should cover it.
Okay.
5
silver. Cool.
Yeah. Like I do the thing of like I take out. I have like I've decided that I have like individual pouches for all my different money. So I pick up my silver pouch and just and empty it because I only have 5 in there.
Okay.
So I just empty that out and like.
Okay.
That should do, right?
That'll be fine.
All right. Put the
Thank you
pouch-
kindly for your patronage. I look forward to having you here again.
If you fucking survive the night, Jesus Christ.
Okay. Are you lingering or are you heading out?
I'm not interested in lingering. I'm just sort of going. I'm just going for a general. Romulus wants to be seen as affable in the closest thing to a political play he has ever done, and be seen vaguely positively. And it is deeply amusing to me that it's on such a small thing. So yeah, he's just gonna. At this point, he's done what he believes to be like a decent work, so he's just gonna fuck off somewhere else.
Okay. Cat, Damian?
Damian gonna go up and he's gonna ask a couple of questions.
Okay.
I will follow Romulus, but
I'm mostly just going outside to like have a look around.
Okay. In the most darkness around here, there's very little to see with your vision.
This darkness is extremely dark.
Hmm.
Good. It's doing its job.
Okay.
are you okay?
I am mildly inebriated, cat.
Okay.
Do not drink alcohol until you are at least 43.
Okay. I will. Okay. Right.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts
Okay.
and listen into the barkeep's thoughts while he's being asked questions.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Noted. Okay. Damien, you approach the barkeep. What can I get for you, shiny friend?
Well, actually, I was here to ask a couple of questions, if that's okay.
Oh, of course. Might not answer them, no, but go ahead.
Of course, that is your prerogative as the owner of this establishment, which I must say is mighty fine.
It's not actually mine, but thank you.
It isn't.
No. I run it for somebody else.
Ah,
Kat, you are picking up on asking questions. About my owner. And
Okay.
you get a sense that their caution is rising. Damien?
so is this usually how busy it is, or does it get busier during the evening? So I'm sort of interested in coming back at the later time, perhaps.
It's usually busier in the evening, but you wouldn't think so. The tables are usually quite clear back then. Most people come in for lunch breaks, if anything.
I understand. So this is more an afternoon snack, late end of the lunch period, and then everyone comes in the evening for a drink, I suppose.
Exactly.
Makes perfect sense. There was some noise a minute ago from above. Do you know anything about that?
Oh, that's just neighbours. I don't know what it is, but they're very noisy up there.
Yeah, I noticed. Quite interesting.
Cat. You pick up on the when he mentions about the food, it's like, we are busier during the evening because our clientele aren't out here. to which you then pick up on the next thing. Why is he inquiring about upstairs? Is he looking to enter the ring?
Oh. Oh, Damian, sub me in. Damian, sub me in right now.
Completely out of
Sub me
character.
in, Damian.
It's completely out of character. As soon as I worked out what the hell was
Get me
going on,
in there,
Damien
Damian,
was
come
like,
on.
I'm interested in this a little.
Come on, get me in there, Damian.
So,
Yes.
say somebody wanted to join in on whatever you don't know happens above.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Oh, come on.
Come on, roll in that one, just for the love.
The cat's picking up on a weird conversation. Just say to Romulus, they're
I'm not
talking
gonna
about a
argue with that.
ring.
15 anyway. Yeah. Oh
Fif-
no, persuasion.
Yeah?
16.
16. Okay. If you're looking to fight, I'm sure someone of your type can do a little bit of damage. But you can't go wearing any armor in those fights.
Oh, I would be amazed.
Luckily,
And it's
luckily
fist
for you,
only.
you've got a friend. You've got a friend who doesn't need armor. Sub me in, coach. Put me in the game. I'll get him.
No, I wasn't necessarily thinking about myself. I was thinking about somebody who I believe you just recently met.
Oh! The Minotaur. Of course. Well,
you know,
I'm sure he'd
had
be
his
welcome to fight up there if he wanted to. Can't
You
guarantee
know I wasn't
things go
referring
well.
to the little female centaur.
No. I don't think she'd do well in a fist fight.
Is that because she lacks fists?
What?
There's like a pause. Cat, you hear? This individual is intrigued about the fighting. The Minotaur is the one that they're going to be betting on. This could be interesting. I wonder how the champion will do. What does he mean she doesn't have fists?
Doesn't have fit. Okay, Romulus, I think Damian might have just volunteered you for a fight with a champion. I don't know, but yeah. And also, I don't think the champion has fists.
All right, interesting.
I'm not
I am
sure.
aware of kickers that kick. I shall prepare myself thusly.
Okay.
Okay.
Do not worry, my kicks are extremely powerful.
Detect thoughts lasts a minute, right?
It does. I will be procking the second one when it runs out.
Okay, I think now would be the time that would take place.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Now, let us be clear. If I have been volunteered for a fight, things may get nasty. So, I will require you to be on standby to ensure I do not die. Also,
Okay. I've still got
I am a
detect thoughts
little
up.
drunk.
What did he mean by things are gonna get nasty? Like, what is he thinking? Romulus, what are you thinking when you said things are gonna get
Detect
nasty?
thoughts.
Oh, I'm gonna do something so much punching. Oh,
And it's just bubbly drunk Romulus.
Okay.
Time to show them a real. Oh God, fuck! I've forgotten the name of my goddamn place. Time to show them a real stronghold keep showdown.
Okay, he's very happy about the fight. Right.
Okay.
I'll go back to the barkeep.
Okay, Damian, carry on.
Would such an encounter be able to be arranged?
Bouts can be arranged. I can talk to the boys upstairs and see what they have to say about it all.
Be interested.
I'll be back in just a mo.
No worries. Thank you.
They turn around, they go through this door, to which you see it opens up to kind of just a blank area behind, as the door is closed behind them, leaving you alone in the room. Cat, you're following the thoughts. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So after they leave, there's a disconnection of their thoughts for a time.
Okay.
About
We've
half...
exited the proximity.
Yeah. About 20 seconds or so pass before you feel them pop back into proximity again. And
Where are they located? Is it the bar or upstairs?
Upstairs.
Right.
And as you pick up on it and begin to hone in on it, it wanders over to one of the other sources from upstairs again. And you can, and listening into the thoughts, you hear, let's see if I can big this person up. I want to see a champion fight a Minotaur. Especially if it's this evening when I'm not on duty.
Get absolutely destroyed.
Followed by excellent. I might be able to get some good winnings on this one. To which the spell ends after they leave the area, as the duration runs out and the person and this individual leaves the area.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I mean, I've gone through a hell of a lot of spell slots. Yeah, I'm gonna not carry on.
Okay. So Damian, a short moment later, the Gnoll returns and just looks at you. Well, I've arranged a bout to happen between your Minotaur friend and some of our own brawlers. It's a 3-round match. One against 2 of our brawlers, followed by the champion themselves. With small breaks in between.
Of course, naturally.
Very well.
When would this
I burst back into the bar. I am ready.
This will be... Looking at Romulus, who bursts back into the bar. This bout of yours will be tonight. Be here at around 9. We'll organize and get you through from there.
Okay. Sounds
good. I will spend all of my time until then sobering up. Please, God.
From Thunderbrew?
Somewhere in this city to buy it.
I will drink so much water. I will drink whatever sobriety potion you want me to. It can be the grossest thing imaginable.
Oh, don't worry. Kay has something for you.
Do not, no, Cat. I think even in this day, you know what, Cat? Maybe I'll let Dr. K help me out. Just because I'm remembering that breakfast.
Just betrayal right now.
Romulus trusts Dr. K more than Cook Cat.
It's very simple. I trust a medical professional. I just want you to imagine this right here is the show of just how drunk Romulus is.
Trust a medical professional. Cat has literally got the mental image of all of the bits of body and stuff that he had in his sandwich. Oh,
just being shoved into Romulus.
Oh
my goodness. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
I will be back this evening. I'm sure we'll all look forward to the entertainment.
Excellent. See you then. Oh, and don't back down or you won't be welcome in this establishment again.
Oh, no, don't worry. We'll be here.
Excellent. Gives you a smile and a nod.
I'm gonna leave.
Okay.
And I'm also, as I'm leaving, I'm just going to have a glance around to see what the reaction was from everybody else in the room, including the guards.
Not many people are looking your way. The guards are looking your way to keep a general mental note of you. But the others are, most people are just ignoring you. Most people in here seem to know what goes on upstairs, and it's just a matter of it's down to the business to tell you, not them. Okay. Okay. So, with you heading back out, where is your next destination?
To the Firefly stacks. I think we need to sober somebody up. And
Okay.
also me up.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll want to watch this as well.
Okay. You're going to head back to the Firefly stacks. Okay. And Vinny and Kay, you were heading down to the auction house, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Heading over to the auction house, go ahead and roll me survival checks from each of you, please, as this one you would have to do either going back to the Firefly stacks and getting advantage, or walking there on your own. Firefly stacks would take more time, because you'd have to work your way backwards and then back there again.
Who's got to do
What kind of
these?
time is it at this point?
Okay, and Vinny. If you go back to the Firefly stacks and then go to the auction house, it will take you to 4:30. If you go straight there and you don't roll too low, you'll be able to make it there for about probably 4:10. Cut 20 minutes off. So I'll let you decide.
Let's try and go directly.
Yeah, that's what I
Can't
was
lose
gonna
too
say,
much time.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me survival checks from each of you then, please.
Woo.
Okay. 2 of you rolled well, as the 2 of you otherwise travel in the general direction, trying to triangulate the direction you would need to go to get to the auction house. It doesn't take you too long, as you end up in the lantern hallways a little way down, and it takes you about half an hour to get from this kind of penthouse down to the auction house on the other side of the city, where you see an otherwise larger building, not much necessarily of an open front, but it is more isolated from the nearby areas around it, and it seems to be partially built into one of these large stone supports that runs up through the city, even though the auction house is closer to the edge. As you otherwise approach, you can see that there is a open archway. There are some people standing outside, just what looks to be guardsmen of kind of the yellow and black checkered uniform of the town guard. As you approach and you look inside, and you can see kind of this open, almost gallery of kind of glass containers filled with various objects and items. What looks to be furniture, what looks to be just tapestries, books, all manner of wares. And Vinny, to you, this is not an abnormal sight. You have been to many of these places before in your past, and there is, looking around this room, there's not a lot of necessarily high value goods here. But there is stuff on display, and there are people kind of browsing and looking around. A few more richer clientele and a few kind of business clientele, but not necessarily anybody who's not able to afford being here. There are very few people who, if any at all, who seem to be going through and browsing for the sake of looking at cool objects. You do also note across the far section of the room what looks to be a desk with what looks to be 3 books in front of it, and from previous experience you would know this to be the catalogues, where people can look through lists of items. There are also some doors to either side of the chamber, which currently have guards currently standing in front of them, and 2 to the back on the left and right of the main desk, which currently have guards on them as well.
All right then. First of all, I'm going to go take a look at the catalogue.
Okay. Going over and having a look through. Anything in specifically you're looking through?
Does it have names of just items or sellers? Or...
These are specifically items and prices. They don't seem to give out sellers and their names.
Reasonable.
Looking through the items, you can see there are quite a lot of pieces of furniture which just seem to be made, and they have tags on who made them. You can see quite a lot of bits and pieces on various decoration, cutlery ware, little silverware and cutlery, all manner of bits and pieces that you might find. Odds and ends, bits and pieces, cool devices in some cases, kind of some clockwork devices which are in there for quite a extortionate amount, given you know that these things are probably made quite cheap. But given the lack of gnomes that you've seen, you haven't seen many gnomes at all through the areas, you know this is probably quite expensive, given that you have no idea where to find this sort of stuff otherwise. But as you are going through and you get closer to the back, you begin to note pages that are documenting much higher and steeper prices of your reaching magical item territory.
Any sign of the necklace? Is it just text in this catalogue?
It's text with pictures on some of the pages, and you can tell that there is some form of illusory distortion which is used to reuse the book. It seems to be based off of just a natural enchantment which is placed onto it, and then an item just has to be effectively photographed or placed on top of it for it to accommodate the image. You've been through auctions before, but looking through, none of them seem to pertain anything to do with the necklace. You know that the necklace has been sold already, technically.
Because it was yeah, because he was supposed to sell it but didn't and just kept it, right?
No, the
Understanding?
so from the letter, once I find the correct document, there we go. There's a client of mine who has been slighted by another competitor. I would like you to steal the object back from them. I specify back. It was my client's and was supposed to go up for auction, but the target, Perlead Brux, a gnome of highborn nature, but he's a real ass. I think he's a real ass. I think stealing from a thief would be within your parameters. Try not to shed any blood on his family, etc., etc. So he stole from the person trying to sell it.
Right, okay. Yeah, if we don't have the client's name, that would be a useful name to flash around, but... May be able to make something work.
Got any ideas?
You just let my mom walk. I don't get. There is a higher.
We're
There's
like over by the catalogue doing this. I assume we can talk in hushed tones to one another. Without...
Yeah, you can talk in general confidence within each other's proximity, because for the most part there are guards keeping an eye, but as long as you don't do anything suspicious, they don't really mind.
Yeah. So I'll just be sort of absent-mindedly flicking the pages, trying to look as if I'm still looking through.
Okay. So give me a general performance check, just to see if you end up accidentally attracting the attention of a clerk. Okay. You buy yourself some time before a clerk potentially approaches you regarding your purpose.
Well, the necklace isn't going to be here, but we can get some information.
Artie, he does have a point right.
What kind of information?
this. Actually doing as requested. How is the security?
Well, if it was
Down to one last diagnostic.
supposed to go up for auction here, the auction may have been listed at some point. Would have been taken away
Because Claudia's still upset
when it
about
disappeared, but
2 days away.
they may still have some record of it.
Artie,
It's just a question of what's the right deceit to get that information out of them.
Thing bad. Shudder. Notice with all government agencies rather burn credit rating past.
Oh my god.
Don't tell.
I'm not.
I don't know. Any opinions?
Private investigation?
What do you have in mind?
We honestly, Kay's not sure, and it's pretty obvious that he's not sure. He doesn't know very good ways of deceiving people.
I was going to say, Jamie, it is 9:20 if you need to head off.
Yes. Are you going to be doing the fight tonight?
doubt it.
Probably not. No, there wouldn't be enough time for that sort of thing.
Yeah, cool. Right.
No, it'll
Right,
probably
well,
be.
I
We'll do
will-
as investigations, sober up, maybe have a bit of like planning chat, and then stop for the night.
Sweet. Okay, well, you lot take care. I will catch you next
Yes,
week
you
when
too.
I will be actually in here in person.
Catch you next week,
Bye.
Jamie. Bye.
I look forward to seeing you here in person, Jamie.
Oh, that's right. I'm just going to send you loads of pictures of me into the chat.
Excellent.
That
excellent.
sounds fair.
See
Okay.
you later on.
See you later.
Bye.
See you later. Take care. Have fun.
Bye.
Okay.
So, as you're otherwise kind of standing there, not entirely sure what,
So you and Paul.
okay. You can either, of your choice, a clerk is currently coming your way. Not necessarily to interact with you, but you can draw their attention if you wish to.
I'm gonna leave that up to you. I'll be right back.
The image of the necklace I have,
Mm-hmm.
is that like a separate thing, or is it
Yes.
attached to the text of the scroll? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, it was bundled up with it.
Okay. That gives me something then. In that case, I'm going to try and get the clerk's attention.
You kind of see this almost, kind of probably early adult, younger human. She has kind of a darker red hair, not bright ginger, but kind of a darker red hair, potentially dyed. So spectacles. Otherwise, walks over and as you otherwise grab her attention. Yes. Can I help?
Yes, I was just taking a look through your catalogue. Was looking for something in particular. I heard it was supposed to be up for auction, but I can't see it anywhere.
What would it be in particular you're looking for?
I will take out the picture and show it to her.
Okay.
This thing, it's a necklace.
Yes, that one unfortunately was withdrawn by the client as of last week.
Ah, that's
The auction is to take place in
disappointing.
a couple of days, but well, the auction is to take place on the. It should be on the. Hold on, I've got to double check the calendar now. See exactly when this would be. Auctions for this business. The auction will be taking place in 4 days' time, just before the festival. So unless it is repurposed out then, unfortunately it will not be getting sold.
That's disappointing. I have travelled quite a long way looking for this. Do you have any idea of why?
Unfortunately not. Our clientele would otherwise be... It's up to them whether they wish to sell an item. It's possible they withdrew because they wanted to keep it, or maybe somebody privately bought it off them outside of the auction houses. For a fairly high price, perhaps.
That's not sporting at all, is it? Oh well.
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
Welcome back.
Just so that I can hold out hope any longer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any information on what the listing was going to be? Just on the off chance it reappears.
We might have some of the old documentation. I can check if you wish.
That would be helpful, if it's not too much trouble.
Of course. If you attend the auction, there will be current booklets released when the auction does take place. Obviously, it won't be in the catalogue now, as it is otherwise been prepared, but I can double check to see if there are any old printings. And she otherwise nods and wanders past, kind of flashes her ID to the guard, who otherwise stands to one side as she wanders past. Into the rooms behind. You wait for a bit. Do you do anything while you wait, or just hang about?
Not doing all that much while waiting, except for looking around.
Okay.
I do want to try and take a little bit of a look. Take a closer look as she's flashing this ID.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a perception check with disadvantage. Okay.
Not great.
Okay, the details you don't pick up on. The most that you pick up is that it seems to be a metallic plate. So almost like the size of a kind of a credit card that you'd get, about that size of kind of a thick metal plate with some form of identification on it that hangs from a lanyard around the neck, but is otherwise tucked into the into their suit and outfit for this place. And you've given your line of work previously, you know that for the most part, when it comes to IDs and anything like that, most of the time they can be easily forged. If it's made out of metal, that increases the risk factor of the incorrect forgery tenfold. It makes it far, far harder to forge. Meaning that this establishment knows what they're doing. This isn't necessarily a new thing that's happened, but it is one that you've come across in the past, and it's been a real bugger to get around. Looking through the items, by the way, and seeing what sort of things are going up. What are you looking at? Just the cheaper stuff or the more expensive things?
I try and get a bit of a cross section of like the price values. What's the cheapest, the very cheapest stuff? What's the most expensive? What's about in the middle?
Looking through some of the cheapest stuff, there seems to be like odd spoons. Maybe what looks to be kind of simple wooden dolls that go for about maybe 1-2 gold at most. Quite cheap in terms.
Just stuff that's like auctioned off as a matter of process rather than.
Yeah, stuff that may have either been here for years or stuff which merchants can't sell, so they're just giving them to the auction to kind of throw into the ring. And if they don't stick, they're probably going to get just tossed, destroyed, melted down, recycled, etc. As for going to expensive items, the most expensive one that you see on here is an elixir of Dawnstar going for 67,000 gold.
So enough
That's
price.
know what Dawnstar is.
That's chump change, considering what we talked about earlier.
Make me an Arcana check with. I'm not going to say disadvantage because at that point it's going to be near impossible for you to get. I'm going to say you're going to need a natural 20 to know what it is, unless you wish to. Actually, no, because there's no way you'd really know. Total?
18.
18. I will say with a roll that high, you have heard rumors of such an elixir existing. If this is the genuine thing, 67,000 gold's pretty reasonable. The elixir itself is said to be one that can, for all intents and purposes, give you a direct commune with certain gods. In terms of what it does, it seems like a fairly menial effect compared to what kind of stronger priests and more devouts can do. But in terms of the fact that you can do this from anyone to potentially do something, it's potentially a pretty dangerous or legendary elixir to have, for anyone to have. The fact that it's just been
Dawnstar.
elixir of the Dawnstar, yes.
Imagine paying a 5-figure sum to prank call a deity.
That would be a power move, and would definitely make you enemies. But going down the rest of the list, you can see that there are other things in here. There are auctions for rings of protection. There are auctions for weapons of various design. There is a surprising amount of weapons in here that you do know. Just of all different manners and designs of different creations. Some more useful than others. None that are of a particular quirky nature, like the ones you got from Brass. But ones that are of still a relatively powerful or useful nature compared to your current gear, that is, anyway. Outside of that, the only other thing which really costs a lot, which you're noting, is crates of goods of particular materials. What looks to be kind of just going down the list, having a look, seeing what kind of is catching your attention. You... Hold on, I need to quickly open up another document to get the correct pricing for this. What do you mean I'm offline? No, I'm not. What do you mean? Hold on. Hello?
You are offline, Chris.
You're
No one
always-
can hear you. You've been talking to yourself for hours.
Ah, it doesn't...
We've had that discussion.
Yeah, we've had that discussion already. I already know this.
Yeah, that's fair.
You just
Yeah.
need to reconnect with
Wait.
yourself, Chris.
Does that mean we're
You
all
need to
fragments of
disconnect
Chris's
from
imagination?
reality
Yeah,
and reconnect
that is correct.
with something. I don't know. I feel like there's definitely some sort of like
Have a tank in the
cyberpunk
brew.
saying in there somewhere.
Okay, as you're going through and you're having a look through the various bits, you see that there is a pound, or a crate box pound worth of Promethea going for about 18,000 gold. Promethea, you know to be a dust material that is used in very high power etchings. It is also used as a combustible material to make firearms.
Hey,
Wait, hang on
steal
a
it.
second. Oh, no,
Steal it now.
Yeah, but it'll be inert here, at least.
It would be
Wait,
a
does
nut
this
here,
mean I
yeah.
can be
Probably
a
why
warp?
they're selling it here.
Does that mean I
Yeah.
get to be a
Pretty
warlock
much.
Gazelle? Chris, please tell me I can be a warlock Gazelle.
A warplock gazelle.
Giselle.
Giselle.
You know. Total War. Rattling Gunners.
Oh!
Farthers.
Oh, yeah. You could, but no. It'll cost you a lot. About the cost of a small plot of land in the Cloud Top district. Other things that you see are just kind of going down the list of things that you could possibly find. Will look to be several ingots of mithril being sold for relatively high quantities. And what look to be various pieces of monsters as well. So elemental essence in various designs and amounts being sold by different individuals, as well as what looks to be commission pieces that are, for the most part, unpictured images, which kind of stand out compared to the rest. But they are specific commissions that have been made or are being made for the purposes of this auction. And you can see that there are already listings of bidders in place here, and some of them have reached up to 25,000, but there are names of craftsmen noted, potentially very good craftsmen. You're not entirely sure.
Who commissions them? Is that the auction house or?
Not entirely sure. It doesn't state.
Intriguing.
As you otherwise do flip through and you have a look, they are all by a single crafter, by the looks of it. All of these commissions are from a single person, or under a single name at the very least.
What is the name, out of interest?
Olabrick's Brain.
Brains?
Yeah, Olabrick's Brain.
Is that Olabricks ending in X or an apostrophe S?
In an X.
So it is the brain of an Olabrix rather than someone who is called Olabrix's brain.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking like, this city is weird enough without mind flares being thrown into
Don't
it.
cook anything. I need to stress that the development of cooking is genuinely how it is believed we as humans developed a higher intelligence. So all these people are fucking morons.
Cooking still exists. It's just that it's stuff that is
It's
eaten
just
cold.
It's just that
6
these
hours
people are
outside of
trying
this
to
house.
devolve, yes.
Also, does that mean like the very outskirts of the city are prime real estate? Because you can actually be within walking distance of a hot meal?
Yeah, you'd have to. I
No,
would have to.
you don't
imagine.
know the extent of how far the crystal goes. That's all I'm going to say. or how far the crystals go, I should say.
Ah, the rich people have their own shit. Got it.
I mean, I felt the effect to some extent, didn't I?
Yeah, it was
I mean, there's always
just
the
as you.
possibility to,
I would
like-
say, given that you weren't necessarily aware of what the effect was coming from initially, it was difficult to gauge. But you could probably guess maybe half a mile outside of town.
Well, now that I'm looking for, know what I'm looking for, I can maybe get a more accurate guess next time. But yes.
Okay.
Oh, and Kay can help. He can hold a convenience crystal, and when he starts feeling something, that's when he knows.
Well, you started feeling that the moment you got on the bridge, or you got close to the bridge.
So it's not the crystal.
Could be. I don't know. Either way, a short while afterwards, the clerk comes back and just goes, kind of wanders up. We don't have any of the manuscripts. They were unfortunately removed. My boss says that we don't have any of that currently available. But if the listing does come back up, then by all means, you're welcome to attend the auction.
Very well then. Yes, is that removed just as a matter of process, or?
He didn't specify, only that it was removed. I asked under what reasons, and he said, well, the item was removed from listing, and I know that's not usually our way, but I'm guessing there might have been special circumstances.
Well, disappointing, but I'll keep an eye out, see if it ever pops up again.
Of course, of course. And good luck if it does.
Oh, thank you. Yes, even if this doesn't show up again, I may still have cause to return here. It seems a very fine operation you're running here.
It's not necessarily my own, but thank you. Have a good day.
One day we'll actually compliment the owner and not a worker of the establishment.
It's a scatter shot technique. At this
I
point.
know.
Yeah, it's like
Very
when,
random
it's like when
compliment.
people tell me like, "Oh, it's so lovely in here," and I'm just like, "Is it?" Me at
You
work.
don't work here. You don't know how.
Anyway.
Very simple. Fuck the owners. The people who do the real work are the ones you speak to.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Why are the owners
Instructions
incredibly
unclear.
attractive?
Okay, no, you fuck them so that you can then get written into their will. You take their property after you kill them, and it's all a big it's all a big scheme,
Give it a
conspiracy after conspiracy.
Ah.
You're actually married to 5 different business owners, and then what do you know? You've got a monopoly. Bing
That's
bang
the
boom.
long-term version. Alternatively, if you're just in it for quick bucks, you just wait for them to fall asleep, and then rip the copper wiring out of their walls.
Don't tell anyone what you stream. Don't let Simon into your establishment.
So, do you exit or do you linger for a bit?
I won't linger.
You want to linger?
Yeah, I'll linger for a minute or two.
I want to look through the catalog.
Okay.
I want to see if there's anything cloaky related, like cloak.
Cloak-wise, yes, there are actually.
Nice.
Let's quickly get the short. I need to get the shorthand listing of this and then look up what these items actually do. Okay, so are you looking for cloaks or robes?
I'm looking for cloaks.
Okay. So cloaks, I need to move further over here and then get a look. So, looking through the list, there is what is known as a it's title, or it's got a asterisk next to it which shows a replica. as a notation next to it, which is a cloak of smoke. You can see that that one is currently going for around 12,000 gold. Going slightly further down the price list, something that might be a bit more up your alley, you can see that there is a cloak of billowing that is going for around about that is going for 230 gold. You can see what looks to be a leaf flown cloak, which is going for 1,400 gold. And what looks to be a cloak of runes, which is going for 6,000 gold.
Do any of these have any descriptions as to what they do?
They have images, no descriptions. You get a general note that through the catalogue you have to be in the know of what you're looking for, either from a contractor, specific thing, or you're just looking to buy something good.
I see. How about any boots? Are there any boots in here?
Boots. You see will look to be boots of springing and striding. Those are currently going for 200 gold. You can see boots of sturdiness, which are going for 1,200 gold. Boots of the Rampager, which are going for 3,000 or 3,000 gold. Yep. And what looks to be nope, that's all the boots. Other than that, the rest of them are make boots, not magical boots. And the just regular make boots range anywhere from what looks to be 15 gold all the way up to 250 gold.
The person on the TV thinks it's good.
I kind of look towards Vinny. Do you think we can try and make some money so I can get these? Pointing to the first boots.
The boots of striding and springing?
Yeah, those sound like they could actually be useful.
They could be. How much did it say they cost?
They're going for 200.
That's not outside the realm of possibility. This is an auction, though, so...
Yeah, so the price could potentially go up during the auction.
Yeah, that's why I want to try and make some money. Try and see if we can get these.
Does the listing also say when they're going up for sale?
Yes, all of these are going up in 5 days.
Okay. It seems that there's a lot of money going around in this city. I can't imagine any other reason someone would live here. We can give it a go. With no specific time limit on any of our other tasks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kay's just looking excited now because he really wants these boots.
I'll say lingering and having a look through other things. You see crates of enchantment crystals used for enchanting. You can see what looks to be crates of paper and ink being sold. Going for quite a lot by the looks of it, but it's enough paper and ink that will probably last a wizard a good year if they aren't going rampant on making spell scrolls. You can see all kinds of just general commodities, large quantities of general goods, wool, silk, linen, flax, all kinds of bits and pieces which are just going through here, and it ranges quite drastically in terms of what people are paying and selling and such. But some time passes, and I'll say you eventually return to the tavern or the Firefly Stacks, meeting up with the rest of your party. To which you return to the sight of Damian and Cat currently sat in the main tavern area, currently with what looks to be a large jug of water on in the main table, and Romulus just sat there downing cup after cup of water.
Another.
You can see that the nightlight has otherwise come over and has placed has otherwise taken one of Romulus's lemons and cut it in half, and is currently squeezing like juice into the water to try and help it be a little bit more citrusy to maybe give an edge and cut through that soberness. I'll say this runs you, Romulus, about a silver for the amount of water you're drinking. Given a barrel of water costs about 2 gold, you've drunk a lot.
Jesus fucking Christ. Right.
Water is usually free.
No. I think you misunderstood me. I said bring all. I think what you heard was bring a lot of water. What I said was bring all the water you have. At this point, am I at least nearing sobriety?
I'll say roll me. Given how long Vinny and Kay have been gone, I'll say roll me 2 Constitution saving throws.
Right. I will roll them next to each other.
Yep. Okay.
Well, the first one, no.
And
The second one
yeah.
is a 21.
Yeah, the first one, you're finding that it's very difficult to kind of keep anything down with a Thunder Brew still affecting your stomach acids quite nastily, and even to water you are refluxing, and it is a very nasty experience. But after some time, it is beginning to take effect, and the headache is setting in quite heavily now. But you are sobering up. You will need to spend the next few hours continuing to sober up, as you have been doing this for about an hour already. But the fight is in... You've got time before the fight. You've got another maybe 4 hours. Yeah.
Right, we've got the time. To explain, I drank,
Yes, please do.
and I may have agreed to be in a fight. Or rather, I should say, Damian agreed on my behalf without my knowledge for me to get into a fight.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay, it's all
you resent
strict.
him for doing so?
I am ambivalent.
It's strictly above boards.
So did you just say above boards?
Yes.
Most things in this city are above boards. It's all made of wood.
We're above board.
Thank you, Vinny.
I will say
You
this.
got it.
I will say this. This place is a hellscape. Have you? I take it you're all aware of this by now.
Interesting. It's an interesting place. I would say that.
It is an unholy hellscape, and it is a blight upon the world that it still exists.
Compared to Paloon, I wouldn't say it's the nicest of places, but you know.
They don't even have stew.
I've stayed in worse places, but not many.
It's nothing but cold cuts and deli meats and sandwiches. Hot.
Talk says tonight, like, you got any sandwiches?
Yes, we have several sandwiches which you could have. Alternatively, if you're after something a bit more comforting, we do have some food that might be up your street.
That's not a freshly
do with
made
a-
shout in sight.
Sissy!
Could do with a bite to eat, I suppose, as it's nearing dinner
Would you
time.
be after something warm or something cold?
Wait, you can do something warm?
Of course. What would you be in the mood for?
Have you got a pastry of some kind?
Yes, we do. They were made. They were made this morning. I'm sure they'd still be warm.
Could have a pastry with some kind of meat in it. You got like a pie of some description? Maybe like a chicken or beef pie?
Yes, we can. I believe we do have a few of those in stock. That could work.
That'd be nice. Thank you.
Excellent. Looks around the
I'm
rest
just
of you.
trying to think. What is something
Anything?
that Romulus would believe is acceptable to eat whilst cold?
What does Romulus think he can actually keep down?
Um,
Because he's now
arguably.
introducing food into his stomach.
Okay, no. See, this is good because arguably, salt, electrolytes, and protein are useful.
And they should soak up some of the
So
alcohol in the system.
some salted meats could be useful here.
Salt and fat will be useful. I will also require a certain amount of bread or carbohydrates. As much as I hate to say it, a sandwich would be ideal.
Well, I could get you a sandwich unless you wanted something hot.
Hot.
Yes.
All right, nothing here can be hot, right? Oh God.
No, things can, just not cooked necessarily.
How hot can you make it?
Piping.
All right.
Excellent. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to have white bloomer bread, then a layer of cheese. It's important that the cheese is layered on first.
If you want it hot, it has to be a pre-made. If
Oh,
you're wanting
God.
something custom, you'll have to ask and order in advance.
All right, what sandwiches do you have that are pre-made?
Kind of goes and thinks for a moment.
Are you aware?
We have chicken mango, if that would be up your street.
See, now I'm torn because Harlan knows that actually is a very interesting flavor.
It's very nice.
Be really good. However, I'm wondering if no, Romulus is a chef. I'm going to make a roll here. I'm not going to tell you the exact criteria I'm using.
Okay, that's fine. As long as you know mentally what your criteria is.
Okay, it's odds. Okay. I am willing to try this mango chicken.
If not, we do have a chickpea hummus and.
God, we are in hell.
What's hummus?
Oh, I'll get you some to try, and I'll get you some dips to go with. Would you like the vegetable option or the grain option?
Veg.
Of course. And you? Looking at Vinny. I'll say cat's off eating elsewhere.
Oh, I have one more thing.
Sure.
I pull out my fish.
Oh.
Sushi. I bought fish for sushi. I don't know how to make sushi. You know how to make sushi?
Nightlight,
I
the
actually
Triton, looks at you.
Okay, well, you'd have to assume that Tritons have a fish-based diet.
Let me finish. Looks at you plainly. Before you begin to watch as kind of the dark blue skin begins to almost go this light purple. How did you know it was my speciality? I'll get on that immediately. Please, do enjoy your food. And kind of completely ignores you, Vinny, and wanders off to go make sushi.
Oh dear, Vinny. Oh dear.
It's fine. I'll grab a sandwich when he comes back.
Okay. In terms of what is brought round to the table, Damian, you are brought a otherwise steaming steak pie.
Nice.
It smells and looks like it's just been made. It's very strange, but it's here in front of you.
Okay, I'm assuming I'm given some implement.
You're given cutlery, yes.
Cool. They're not that uncivilized, Harlan.
No.
I'm going to try a bit of it because I'm a bit curious because this does seem a bit odd.
Okay. Roll me a Constitution saving throw. Or Dex.
Splendid.
I'll let you choose.
Oh, you know what? Just for the lols, I'm going to go with Dex.
Okay.
Because this is going to be absolutely hilarious. It's like spill it everywhere or something.
Okay.
Let's say
12.
12, yeah.
You're -2. It is hot, And as you take the bite, you did not prepare for this. You did not blow on the food. You did not prepare. You just bit straight into it. It is a hot meal. Very hot, in fact. And as you scoop it off your tongue for a moment, and you can feel your tongue has burned, but you drink some of the water, and it makes it a little bit better, but it's still... That was a hot meal.
The power of convenience.
It's curious.
It's got to be. So you just hear me between panting, because I'm not going to do this very well.
Meanwhile,
That's what.
meanwhile, Romulus, you are brought a sandwich. It is pretty chilled when you have it, but it is nice as you begin to take bites into it. The mango and chicken is very nice, and it is a very nice complementary pair. Kind of the more fruity flavors of it mixing with the chicken that seems to be kind of slightly mustardized with a bit of which seems to have been thoroughly cooked into its chunks when as you otherwise bite into it is very, very nice. Meanwhile, Kay, you get a full board of freshly made and otherwise cured sushi. And you can see that it is wrapped in almost, not necessarily in the same sort of rice that we would have. It's slightly smaller, but it is still kind of a sticky rice that has otherwise been wrapped around it, and then there is almost this kind of thin wrapping of almost this paper thin material around the outside of it as well, and you are handed 2 sticks. Kay, roll me an intelligence check if you wish to try and use the chopsticks. And a dex check as well. It will require both. So for
All
dex,
right,
you can use
left
sleight of
is
hand.
Okay, left is intelligence, right
And
is
sleight of hand. Okay, let's go.
sleight of hand. Oh my god!
Kay is a natural with chopsticks. Kay, I'm sorry, but you're eating everything with chopsticks now. It's canon. As you pick up the chopsticks, it's almost instantaneous and instant. As you move to it and you begin to pick up the pieces, you watch as Nightlight's bulb begins to kind of glow, almost as like a happiness, as you are instinctively eating sushi for the first time, and it is amazing. You love it. It is amazing. And with your consume and create, you otherwise acquire the ability to develop fish scales. They will do nothing for you other than the ability to allow you to manifest fish scales. And this will be permanently,
I could be a fish rat.
You can be a fish rat. Yeah, a waterproof rat. Who doesn't want that? It means when you get out of the water, you can just stand up, turn back to fur, and you'll be completely dry. There you go. There is a use for it.
Exactly.
Alternatively, you could oil yourself up, and then you could make yourself difficult to grapple. But either way, so you receive that. At which point, Nightlight turns to you, Vinny, and goes, "I'm sorry, I forgot to ask your order. What would you like? Consider it on me, given I forgot, and I was so rude earlier."
Oh, well, thank you. What sandwiches do you have?
Well, mango and chicken like your friend had. We also do a variety of various chicken-based sandwiches and stuffing as well. We do a few cheese and onion sandwiches of various types, cheese and cress. Oh, we do some egg mixes as well, mixed in with all that. Bacon sandwiches, all manner of ones. Chickpea hummus mixed with a kind of a mixing of olive oil and cooked aubergine as well.
An egg sandwich would be good.
Of course, I will get on that for you immediately.
Question: Do you do the one where you combine the egg, you whisk the egg to sort of make a nice mix, and then you flame bake? Oh wait, you don't use flame. Well, you bake the aubergine so that it's nice and soft. Remove the skin and then flatten it. Then apply the egg wash to the outside to create what is, for all intents and purposes, an aubergine and egg pancake. That shit's delicious.
I am not a proprietor of a cooking of these or making of these sandwiches. That's not my skill. I can make fish-based dishes, but nothing more.
That is fair enough. I just wondered if it was one of the things that was being cooked here, as it's a nice and reasonably healthy yet enticing snack.
No, a lot of this is otherwise produced by the Caterers Guild.
That makes sense.
On earth have you warmed this
On a
up?
side note, the Caterers Guild must be so fucking rich in this goddamn hellhole of a
Oh, yes.
And look, I like to. You mentioned aubergine. I came up with my newest aubergine recipe. There you go. That I know that I've learnt about. So, you know,
Fair
that's
enough.
what happens.
And what did you...
warm this up so hot?
Oh, we use convenience crystals and a little bit of magical trickery.
That was correct.
They use prestidigitation.
Shh. Convenience crystals with prestidigitation and
Oh my god!
and a little bit
You
of
have
heat and a little bit of
you
heat
have
metal.
Cat, do you have? Oh wait, Cat's in here. Does Cat have prestidigitation?
No.
God
No, she
damn
doesn't.
it, Cat! You had one job.
So the answer is yes, there is cooked food here. It just isn't fresh cooked. It has to be reheated, or it has to be made in a setting where it can be frozen and then
They all
cooked.
have
and then
fucking
heated it.
microwaves.
I'm thinking.
Yep, and that's why the Caterers Guild is very rich.
I've now got this image of I wish to go back. I wish to go to one of the many auction houses and see if any of them are selling Geiger counters, so I can just check how radioactive the food is that I eat.
That is not
y'all
disclosed for health reasons.
While y'all are eating radioactive food, I'm eating healthy raw fish.
Yep.
Exactly. So look, Kay will be absolutely fine. The rest of us, our insides will just die.
That's true.
Yeah, it was a paladin who one day realized if you deal a very specific amount of radiant damage, it'll actually boil water.
Oh my word.
I mean, I'll be honest. I've got to imagine it's only 1 point of radiant damage, right?
I mean, radiant damage, as we have discussed, is just radiation. Like you can give all the flamsy pamsy like, oh, it's sunlight, it's holy damage. It's like, nah, it's radioactive, it's gamma. Like,
Yeah.
and necrotic, let's be honest, is just alpha radiation because once it's inside of you, it doesn't come out and it just withers you away. So, like, come on. How much gamma radiation does it take to boil water? That's a good question, and that is one that we should be asking to figure out how much damage would be consistent with that. I mean, sickening radiance is what? Like, going into Chernobyl? Temporarily?
I mean, okay, no, Chernobyl's definitely worse, but like, it's getting similar.
Going to... Oh, I can't remember the name of the place in Japan that had the...
Fukushima Daiichi.
Yeah, that one. The one that's still radioactive,
Funny,
but
'cause
people
you
have
also
learned to
find
live there.
radioactive sushi.
How much gamma radiation is needed to boil water?
Depends on the type of radiation, I guess.
That's why I'm looking up specifically gamma.
Xavier, come here.
Water sieverts. Or becquerels.
Why has nobody answered this question? Come
I
on.
wonder. I wonder.
Because the whole point is like microwaves are the same type of radiation as gamma, but despite being weaker, they'll boil water quickly because of resonance. It's dumb,
Okay,
but-
well, there's no quick answer to this that I can find on the interwebs, so the internet has failed me. So for that reason alone,
No.
we will state that it requires more. It requires a natural 20 crit and maximum rolls on a paladin's divine smite, pumping a 5th level spell slot into it in order for a paladin to boil water.
Into a cauldron of water.
Or it requires
depressing.
multiple prestidigitations and a heat medal from a wizard to do it.
I mean, I wouldn't say. I think just one sustained heat metal should probably do it.
Yeah, that's true, but prestidigitation speeds up. Anyway.
Yeah.
Why does this person want me to eat? Sorry. I got distracted by seeing that somebody wants.
Yep.
Uh,
Hey, it's Sudz. Ask Rebecca. She'll fit right in.
oh, of course. Great.
And so,
Great.
that is where we will end our session for tonight. As Romulus consumes food and complains about the heat and how the how there were antics being hidden from him, while Vinny waits for his sandwich in the eternal loading time that will be 1 week, while Kay devours sushi with an expertise that he did not know that he had within him, and while Damian recovers from a burnt tongue. That is where we shall end. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we will see you next week for more of this. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Potatoes.